Mighty God, I lift my heart to you, asking for the fullness of your strength to flood every part of my life, longing for the power of your Spirit to sustain me in every moment, desiring that my heart be unwavering when trials press against me, and seeking the courage to stand firm when the weight of life feels heavy, knowing that you are my refuge and my fortress, confident that in your hands my weaknesses are transformed into strength, leaning on the promise in Joshua 1-9, where you command me to be strong and courageous because you are with me wherever I go, trusting that no fear or discouragement can prevail over the power of your presence, asking that my mind be anchored in truth, so that doubt has no room to grow, longing for my steps to be steady and unwavering, depending on you to give clarity when confusion clouds my path, drawing upon your grace to push forward even when I feel like giving up, calling to mind Psalm 18:32, that it is you who arms me with strength and keeps my way secure, rejoicing that your strength is not temporary but enduring, available in every season, available in the stillness of the morning and the chaos of the storm, yearning to walk in that strength with humility and gratitude, praying for endurance when the journey seems long, asking that I not grow weary in doing good, because in due time I will reap if I do not give up, holding firmly to Galatians 6-9 as a reminder that perseverance is rewarded, desiring to rise each day with a spirit ready to serve, a heart willing to obey, a mind prepared to think with wisdom, asking for the discipline to remain faithful in prayer so that my spirit remains connected to you, requesting that in my moments of solitude I sense the nearness of your presence, that in my moments of weakness I feel the infusion of your power, remembering in Isaiah 41-10 that I should not fear, for you are with me, that I should not be dismayed, for you are my God. You will strengthen me, you will help me, you will uphold me with your righteous right hand, clinging to that truth as an anchor when the winds of uncertainty blow against me, longing to be rooted so deeply in you that no storm can uproot me, asking that my faith be fortified by the daily awareness of your strength at work within, rejoicing that you have not given me a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-control as declared in 2 Timothy 1-7, believing that with this spirit I can stand firm against anything that would seek to shake me, praying for boldness to speak, truth and love, for courage to live in integrity, for resilience to withstand discouragement, desiring that I would reflect your strength not only in great acts, but in the quiet choices of daily life, that my heart would be steadfast and my mind resolute, trusting that in Nehemiah 8:10, the joy of the Lord is my strength, holding that joy as a shield when sorrow tries to weaken me, inviting you to shape my will so that it aligns with yours, asking for the faith to believe even when I cannot see, for the trust to wait even when I do not understand, remembering in Psalm 28-7 that you are my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in you and I am helped. My heart leaps for joy, and I give thanks to you in song, longing to be so filled with this reality that gratitude overflows from my lips, praying that no matter the pressure, no matter the demand, I lean fully on you, recalling in Habakkuk 3:19 that you, the sovereign Lord, are my strength. You make my feet like the feet of a deer. You enable me to tread on the heights, believing that with you I can navigate the rough terrain of life without stumbling, asking for the inner power to rise above bitterness and anger, to choose peace over strife, to embrace forgiveness over resentment, and to walk in humility before you, holding tightly to 1 Peter 5:10, that after I have suffered a little while, you, the God of all grace, who called me to your eternal glory in Christ, will himself restore, confirm, strengthen, and establish me, praying for that restoration daily, that every wound be healed, every weakness be turned into a testimony of your power, longing for my life to be a living example of reliance on you, trusting that in Psalm 46:1 you are my refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble, taking comfort that you are never distant from my need, never absent from my struggle, asking that I carry that awareness into every situation, praying for a steadfast spirit, as in Psalm 51:10-12, where I am renewed and upheld by a willing spirit, longing for the renewal that allows me to keep going when others stop, believing that you go before me, as in Deuteronomy 31:6, commanding me to be strong and courageous, not to be afraid or terrified, because you will never leave me nor forsake me, clinging to that promise when loneliness tries to speak, calling on your name for courage when my own courage fades, asking that I not only survive trials, but grow stronger because of them, that I not only endure storms, but learn to dance in the rain of your blessings even in the midst of them, remembering in Psalm 73:26 that my flesh and my heart may fail, but you are the strength of my heart and my portion forever, holding this close when physical or emotional exhaustion weighs heavily, praying for divine energy to replace my depleted reserves, for a heavenly wisdom to guide my decisions, for supernatural peace to steady my emotions, for deep resilience to keep me moving forward, seeking that my inner being be daily renewed, as in 2 Corinthians 4:16, so that I do not lose heart, trusting that the work you have begun in me will be carried to completion, longing to live with the assurance in Exodus 15:2 that you are my strength and my song. You have given me victory, rejoicing in that victory even before I see the outcome, because I know you are faithful, asking for the grace to wait patiently without losing momentum, for the courage to act decisively when the moment calls, for the humility to acknowledge that all strength is yours, longing to rest in the shelter of your power, to rise in the morning with the determination that comes from knowing you are with me, to work with diligence that reflects your excellence, to speak with boldness that reflects your truth, to love with generosity that reflects your heart, believing in Psalm 118:14 that you are my strength and my defense. You have become my salvation, holding that reality as my foundation when insecurity tries to undermine me, praying for unwavering faith that refuses to shrink back, for courage that grows under pressure, for patience that deepens with time, for hope that holds steady, asking for the wisdom to see every challenge as an opportunity to rely on you more, desiring that my life be marked by an unshakable trust in your sustaining hand, that my lips continually declare your greatness, that my mind be fixed on things above, that my actions be driven by your Spirit, that my heart be anchored in your promises, rejoicing in Psalm 20-6 that you give victory to your anointed, answering from your heavenly sanctuary with the victorious power of your right hand, believing that every victory in my life is a testament to your strength and not my own, asking that you remind me in every moment that I am never fighting alone, that the battles I face are under the authority of the one who has already overcome the world, remembering in John 16:33 that in this world I will have trouble, but I can take heart because you have overcome the world, clinging to that truth as the source of courage in times of conflict, praying that no fear will dictate my steps, that no doubt will cloud my decisions, that no despair will darken my hope, that my entire life will be a reflection of your strength at work in human weakness, longing for a faith so resilient that nothing can shake it, for a peace so deep that nothing can disturb it, for a joy so abundant that nothing can steal it, for a love so steadfast that nothing can diminish it, trusting that every breath I take is sustained by your power, every step I walk is guided by your hand, every word I speak is inspired by your Spirit, every trial I face is met with your strength, and every victory I experience is secured by your might. Lord Almighty, I lift my heart before you again, desiring to be continually strengthened by your unfailing power, longing for the fullness of your might to be at work in me in ways that exceed my understanding, yearning for the steadfast courage that comes from your Spirit alone, asking that every part of my being be aligned with your will, so that nothing in me resists the flow of your strength, trusting that your hand upholds me and keeps me from falling, clinging to the truth in Psalm 29-11 that you give strength to your people and bless them with peace, rejoicing in the peace that guards my heart even when challenges surround me, asking for the courage to take steps of faith into places unknown, for the calm to face the unexpected without fear, for the endurance to continue even when the way forward feels steep, believing that you empower me with the ability to endure with joy as in Colossians 1:11, longing to remain steady no matter how the seasons of life change, seeking a strength that is consistent whether in moments of ease or in days of testing, drawing on the assurance in Isaiah 12:2 that you are my salvation. I will trust and not be afraid, for you are my strength and my song, confident that your presence removes fear and fills me with hope, asking for the resilience to rise again after setbacks, for the patience to wait on your timing without complaint, for the focus to keep my eyes fixed on what is eternal than what is fleeting. Remembering in 1 Chronicles 16:11 to seek your face continually, and to seek your strength always, desiring that my life be characterized by ongoing dependence on you, never leaning on my own understanding, but always acknowledging you, praying for the wisdom to act with discernment in every decision, for the humility to give you the glory in every victory, for the resolve to keep going when opposition arises, holding on to the promise in Zechariah 4-6 that it is not by human might or power but by your Spirit that the work is accomplished, trusting that your Spirit working in me is enough for every task you set before me, asking for boldness to declare your faithfulness when doubts arise in my heart, for confidence to walk in the calling you have given me without hesitation, for the gentleness to remain calm under provocation, and for the discernment to know when to stand still and when to move forward. Recalling in Micah 3-8 the example of being filled with power by the Spirit of the Lord to act in truth and justice, praying that this same Spirit fill me to overflowing, so that my actions reflect your heart, seeking strength to persevere through difficulties that linger longer than I expect, asking for the inner stability that holds fast when outward circumstances shift, for the determination to finish what I have started in faith, for the courage to speak life over situations that seem hopeless, remembering into Samuel 20-33 that you are my strong refuge and you make my way perfect, trusting that you are not only my source of strength, but also the one who directs my steps without error, praying for the ability to be steadfast in small things, so that I can be faithful in great things, asking that my spirit be attuned to your voice, so that I can move in sync with your leading, longing to live with a constant awareness of your presence, so that my confidence never wavers, holding fast to the truth in Psalm 54-4 that you are my helper and the sustainer of my soul, believing that in moments when I feel drained, you breathe life back into me, asking for the fortitude to resist discouragement, for the clarity to see your hand at work even in difficulty, for the rest that comes from trusting you fully, drawing upon the assurance in Isaiah 33-2, where I find grace each morning and salvation in times of distress, praying for the constancy to praise you before the answer comes, for the perseverance to remain faithful until the end, for the lightness of spirit that refuses to be weighed down by temporary troubles, remembering in Deuteronomy 20-4 that you go with me to fight for me against my enemies and to give me victory, trusting in that victory even before I see the evidence, seeking the entrance to continue walking in faith when the path is long and unseen, asking for the strength to serve with joy when weariness tempts me to withdraw, for the wisdom to rest in you when I need renewal, for the boldness to declare your promises aloud over my life, for the steadfastness to remain in the truth regardless of changing opinions around me, calling to mind 1 Samuel 2-9 that you guard the steps of your faithful ones, trusting that your hand is my constant protection, longing for my heart to be free from anxiety, so that I can move with courage, asking for fresh courage each day, so that my resolve never diminishes, praying for a faith that is resilient under pressure, for a hope that grows stronger through trials, for a love that remains active even in hardship, holding to the assurance in Psalm 138:3 that when I called, you answered me and made me bold and stout-hearted, believing that every time I turn to you in prayer, I leave strengthened, asking for the grace to keep my heart pure, so that nothing hinders the flow of your power in my life, for the focus to remain devoted to what you have entrusted to me, for the humility to acknowledge my need for you daily, recalling in Isaiah 40:29 that you give strength to the weary and increase the power of the weak, trusting that no matter how depleted I may feel, you have more than enough to renew me, praying for the inner stillness that allows me to hear your whisper, for the joy that rises above circumstances, for the determination to hold on to faith when I cannot yet see the outcome, seeking the courage to be a light in dark places, for the strength to resist temptation when it arises, for the endurance to keep sowing seeds even when I do not yet see a harvest, remembering in Psalm 62:7 that my salvation and honor depend on you, my mighty rock and refuge, finding rest in that truth when uncertainties press in, asking for the ability to stand firm in storms without fear, for the wisdom to respond with grace instead of reaction, for the clarity to see the path you have marked for me, longing for my trust in you to grow deeper with each challenge faced, praying for the courage to let go of what hinders my progress, for the patience to move in your timing, for the resilience to rise again after disappointment, holding to the confidence in Jeremiah 32:17 that nothing is too hard for you, believing that no situation I face is beyond the reach of your power, asking for the strength to persevere in prayer until answers come, for the focus to stay committed to your word, for the ability to act in love even when wronged, for the humility to serve without recognition, for the faith to believe that your promises are true, no matter how long they take to be fulfilled, trusting that you are working all things together for my good, rejoicing in the confidence that comes from knowing you are faithful to complete the work you have begun in me, and resting in the unshakable truth that your strength is my constant source of life, courage, and victory in every circumstance I face. Father, I seek to walk in the rhythm you have ordained for my life, asking for the grace to move neither ahead of your timing nor lag behind when you call me forward, longing to live each day with a pace that is guided by your Spirit, where hurry is replaced with trust and delay is surrendered to patience, remembering in Ecclesiastes 3:1 that to everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven, asking that my heart be aligned with the seasons you have set for me, so that I am not swayed by comparison or pressure, seeking to rest when you call me to stillness and to act when you stir me into motion, praying for discernment to recognize the difference between divine pauses and the distractions that slow me down, calling to mind Psalm 37:7, where I am urged to be still before you and wait patiently for you, believing that your timing is always perfect even when it challenges my expectations, asking for the wisdom to take steps of obedience without rushing into decisions driven by fear, for the clarity to embrace moments of quiet as sacred spaces for renewal, for the courage to move at the steady speed of grace rather than the restless pace of striving, drawing strength from Isaiah 30:15, where you say that in returning and rest I will be saved. In quietness and trust will be my strength, longing for my soul to breathe deeply in your presence without being pulled in every direction by the noise of life, praying for the discipline to prioritize what matters eternally over what demands immediate attention, for the patience to wait on open doors rather than forcing my way through closed ones, asking that my steps be ordered as in Psalm 37 minutes and 23 seconds, so that each move I make is secure and aligned with your will, seeking the ability to release control over outcomes so that I can focus on faithful obedience in the present moment, remembering in Lamentations 3:25 that you are good to those who wait for you, to the soul who seeks you, holding to that goodness when waiting feels long, desiring to live free from the burdens of hurry, carrying only the yoke of Christ, which is easy, and the burden that is light, as in Matthew 11:29-30, praying that my heart is never driven by competition or the need to prove myself, but instead by the quiet assurance of being led by you, longing to embrace the gentle pace where my strength is renewed daily and my joy is preserved, asking for the grace to say no to things that move me out of alignment with your purpose, for the sensitivity to recognize when you are calling me to step back and rest, drawing on the truth of Psalm 62:1, where my soul finds rest in you alone, knowing my salvation comes from you, praying for consistency in following the steps you have laid before me without wandering ahead in impatience, asking for peace to anchor me in the present so that I do not live hurried by the fear of missing out, recalling Proverbs 16:9, where I am reminded that though I may plan my way, it is you who establishes my steps, seeking the humility to release my plans when they conflict with yours, praying for a spirit that walks steadily with you rather than rushing toward my own deadlines, for the ability to savor the blessings in each moment without being consumed by the next goal, remembering in Habakkuk 2:3 that the vision awaits its appointed time, and it will not delay, trusting that every promise will unfold exactly as you have determined, asking for grace to keep my eyes fixed on you, so that my pace is set by faith and not by fear, for the discipline to slow down and listen when you speak, for the courage to take the next step when you prompt me to move, longing to live with balance, so that I neither burn out from excess activity, grow stagnant in idleness, drawing comfort from Exodus 33:14, where you promise that your presence will go with me and you will give me rest, asking for the ability to lay aside the weight of self-imposed deadlines, for the strength to maintain steady progress toward the assignments you have given, for the contentment to embrace where I am without constantly rushing toward where I am not. Remembering in James 5-7 the call to be patient until the coming of the Lord, holding to that patience as a mark of trust, asking for wisdom to pace myself in work, in rest, in relationships, and in spiritual growth, praying that I do not confuse busyness with fruitfulness, longing to move only in the direction you have blessed, recalling Psalm 46:10 to be still and know that you are God, allowing that stillness to quiet the noise of urgency, asking that my thoughts, actions, and emotions be synchronized with the leading of the Holy Spirit, for the courage to let go of striving that drains my joy, for the ability to rest in the knowledge that your timing never fails, trusting as in Galatians 6-9, that I will reap a harvest if I do not give up, seeking the perseverance to keep going without pushing myself into exhaustion, praying that I embrace the peace of knowing I am exactly where you want me to be in each season, asking for the insight to recognize when a door is for now or for later, when a relationship is to be nurtured slowly or stepped into boldly, for the self-control to walk at the speed of grace rather than at the demands of people or circumstances, holding on to the promise in Isaiah 40-31 that those who wait on you will renew their strength, mounting up with wings like eagles, running without growing weary, walking without fainting, praying that my days are lived in the assurance that each step is ordained, that I do not need to force my life to happen, but simply follow your lead, that I will not waste time in resistance, but will not rush ahead without you, asking for a heart that treasures the journey as much as the destination, for eyes to see the beauty in each stage, for gratitude that grows in the pauses, for trust that deepens in the waiting, remembering in Proverbs 3-5-6 to trust in you with all my heart and lean not on my own understanding, in all my ways acknowledging you so that you will direct my paths, believing that when I walk in step with you, will always be on time for the appointments you have prepared, praying for a contentment that allows me to flourish in the now, for faith that allows me to hold promises without rushing to make them happen, for the awareness to sense when I am moving too quickly and the humility to slow down, for the confidence to move forward without hesitation when you open the way, longing for my life to reflect the calm strength of one who walks with God, anchored in peace, guided by truth, sustained by grace, trusting that your perfect pace will always lead me to the fullness of your will for my life. Lord, I ask that you teach my heart to find harmony in the pace you have set for me, that I may not be driven by the urgency of the world, but by the steady rhythm of your Spirit, that my soul will learn to breathe deeply in your presence and walk in step with your guidance, remembering in Psalm 90-12 the call to number my days, so I may gain a heart of wisdom, seeking that wisdom to prioritize the eternal over the immediate, to focus on what truly matters instead of being pulled into what only distracts. Asking that I recognize the value of moments and treat them as gifts from you, for the strength to walk through my responsibilities without being swallowed by them, for the grace to know when to pause so that my spirit is renewed, praying for discernment so that I do not mistake waiting for stagnation, but embrace it as a time of preparation, trusting in your perfect order, as in 1 Corinthians 14:33, where you are not a God of disorder, but of peace, longing to have my steps aligned so that each move flows from a place of rest in you, asking for the patience to allow the seeds I have sown to grow at the rate you have determined, for the humility to accept that every stage has its purpose, for the peace that allows me to release control, believing in Psalm 40:1 that I waited patiently for you. You turned to me and heard my cry, desiring to have a posture of listening, so that my actions are informed by your voice, for the courage to resist the temptation to speed ahead in pursuit of outcomes, asking that my spirit be anchored enough to handle delays without frustration, for clarity to move at the pace that nurtures my growth rather than hinders it, remembering in Hebrews 12:1 to run with perseverance the race marked out for me, understanding that perseverance requires balance, not haste, seeking the grace to remain fully present in each day without rushing to reach the next, for the awareness to notice when I am moving too slowly in fear and the courage to match your stride, asking for trust to walk paths where the timing of milestones is known only to you, recalling in Isaiah 28:16 that whoever believes will not be in haste, longing to embody that quiet confidence that faith brings, for the patience to master consistency rather than chasing after speed, praying for a gentle spirit that rests in the security of your will, for the ability to handle seasons of acceleration without losing peace, to embrace seasons of stillness without feeling forgotten, asking that I remain faithful in the unnoticed moments, diligent in the small tasks, and joyful in the slow progress that builds lasting fruit, remembering in Philippians 1-6 that he who began a good work in me will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus, trusting that every step is part of your design, for the contentment to walk rather than sprint when the road is long, and to run without hesitation when the call is urgent, for the wisdom to measure my pace, not by the movements of others, but by the direction of your spirit, praying for the ability to shift when you shift and to hold when you hold, to breathe when you say rest and to press when you say go, asking for the discipline to maintain balance, so that I neither burn out through excess nor wither through neglect, remembering in Proverbs 19:2 that haste leads to mistakes, seeking the calm resolve that prevents me from making choices out of impatience, for the ability to slow down enough to hear your whispers, for the courage to take bold steps when the time is ripe, for the sensitivity to notice the seasons changing in my life, praying that my heart stays teachable so I can adjust my stride when needed, that I walk in such close fellowship with you that my pace is naturally matched to yours, drawing on the assurance in Psalm 31 minutes and 15 seconds that my times are in your hands, believing that my life is safest when guided by your schedule. 4. The humility to surrender my agenda in exchange for your plan, for the joy that comes from knowing that every delay and every quickening has a purpose, for the steadiness to live without being pulled forward by anxiety or held back by hesitation, asking that I can navigate responsibilities without becoming enslaved to them, that I can carry out assignments without letting them dictate my worth, longing to cultivate an inner rhythm of prayer that keeps me grounded no matter the outward speed of life, remembering in Luke 21:19 that by standing firm I will gain life, understanding that steadfastness requires a controlled and deliberate pace, for the strength to keep pace in seasons that demand endurance, for the courage to rest without guilt in seasons that require renewal, asking for a heart that treasures obedience over activity, presence over productivity, depth over speed, recalling in Psalm 27-14 to wait for the Lord, to be strong and take heart and wait, holding to that strength when my own timelines crumble, for the patience to see through the slow work of transformation, for the courage to endure the stretching that comes when I am learning to wait well, for the peace that surpasses understanding in moments when I want to hurry ahead, praying that my faith would mature through trust in divine pacing, for the ability to discern divine momentum and not confuse it with the frantic rush of the world, for the discipline to remain consistent even when results are not immediate, for the joy of finding beauty in slow growth and meaning in every step, remembering in John 7-6 where Jesus said the right time has not yet come, trusting that if even He moved according to the Father's timing, then so must I, asking that I not be lured into overcommitting out of fear of missing opportunities, but instead move only into what you have prepared, longing to see each day as enough, each task as an offering, each pause as a gift, praying for the quiet confidence to know I am where I should be even when I am not where I thought I would be, asking for the wisdom to resist distraction so that I remain focused on what you have entrusted to me, for the grace to adjust my expectations so they align with your pace, recalling in Exodus 14:14 that you will fight for me and I need only to be still, taking comfort that stillness is not idleness but trust, for the strength to keep a steady pace when fatigue tries to slow me, for the humility to slow my pace when pride tries to push me faster, for the discernment to know the difference between divine acceleration and human striving, praying that I am able to savor the journey instead of racing to the destination, for the awareness to pause and acknowledge your hand at work in every stage, remembering in Psalm 84-7 that I go from strength to strength until I appear before you, believing that each step is part of that upward path, for the trust to let you set the intervals of my progress, for the grace to be faithful in the middle ground between the promise and its fulfillment, for the patience to walk at the speed of your purpose without losing heart, and for the joy to celebrate the steady, unhurried unfolding of the life you have planned for me. Lord, I am before you with a sincere heart, desiring that my life be guided by a deeper awareness of your will, asking that you sharpen my spiritual senses so that I may clearly distinguish between what is right and what is almost right, longing for my heart to be tuned to the whispers of your Spirit, so that I am not deceived by appearances, remembering in Proverbs 2-6 that you give wisdom, and from your mouth come knowledge and understanding, asking for the kind of discernment that allows me to recognize your hand at work even in situations that seem uncertain, for the wisdom to avoid paths that appear appealing but lead away from your purpose, for the clarity to see the motives behind words and actions, and for the understanding to make decisions that align with truth, holding on to the promise in James 1-5 that if I lack wisdom I can ask you, and you will give generously without finding fault, believing that you will equip me with the insight I need for every choice, praying for the discipline to pause before speaking, acting, or deciding, so that I allow your counsel to guide me, asking for eyes to see beyond the surface and ears to hear what is unsaid, for the ability to recognize distractions that aim to pull me off course, remembering in Hebrews 5:14 that the mature have their senses trained to distinguish good from evil, longing to be so rooted in your word that truth rises in my spirit instantly when deception tries to creep in, praying for the patience to wait for clarity when situations are clouded, for the courage to follow truth even when it is unpopular, for the humility to accept correction when my understanding is incomplete, drawing on the assurance in Psalm 119-66 to teach me knowledge and good judgment, for I trust your commands, asking that my thoughts be purified so that I can hear you without the interference of fear or pride, for the grace to act with righteousness and not from impulse, for the strength to resist being swayed by emotions when discernment calls for steadiness, remembering in 1 Kings 3-9 how Solomon asked for a discerning heart to govern and to distinguish between right and wrong, seeking that same heart in my own walk with you, praying for discernment in relationships so that I recognize those you send for my growth and those who are meant to be loved from a distance, for the insight to identify opportunities that are from you versus those that distract from my calling, asking for the wisdom to manage resources, time, and energy in ways that honor you, for the ability to detect when a decision seems urgent but is meant to be approached with patience, remembering in Philippians 1:9-10 the prayer that love may abound more and more in knowledge and depth of insight, so that I may be able to discern what is best, longing for discernment that goes beyond logic and taps into the deep knowing of the Spirit, for the understanding to navigate complex situations with grace, for the foresight to see where certain paths may lead and to choose accordingly, praying for an increase in spiritual sensitivity so that I can sense the prompting of the Holy Spirit in the midst of noise, asking for courage to obey when discernment requires a hard choice, remembering in Proverbs 3:21 to preserve sound judgment and discernment, not letting them out of sight, for they will be life for me, seeking to hold tightly to that life-giving wisdom, for the ability to recognize when the enemy disguises himself as an angel of light, for the alertness to identify small compromises before they grow into larger ones, for the peace that comes from knowing I am in step with your leading, asking that I discern the right time to speak and the right time to remain silent, the right time to act and the right time to wait, remembering in Colossians 1:09 the prayer to be filled with the knowledge of your will, all spiritual wisdom and understanding, longing for every decision I make to reflect your truth, praying for discernment in seasons of transition, so that I am not moved by uncertainty, but by your direction, for the wisdom to step into new opportunities with caution when needed, and boldness when confirmed by you, for the grace to recognize false teachings and to hold firmly to sound doctrine, asking for discernment in my thoughts, so that I reject lies quickly and dwell only on what is pure and noble, for the sensitivity to detect the difference between my own desires and the voice of the Spirit, remembering in Isaiah 11:2 that the Spirit of the Lord is the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord, seeking to walk in that Spirit daily, praying for the discipline to seek your word for guidance before seeking the counsel of people, for the strength to follow your direction even when I do not have the full picture, for the humility to admit when I have misunderstood and to be redirected, asking that you train my spirit to identify open doors that are truly from you, to sense when a season is ending, and to perceive the lessons in every challenge, remembering in Psalm 25:4-5 to show me your ways, guide me in your truth, and teach me. For you are my Saviour, and my hope is in you all day long, longing for discernment that is consistent in the small daily choices as well as in major life decisions, praying for wisdom in handling conflict, so that my responses reflect righteousness and not self-interest, asking for clarity to identify the priorities you have set for me, so that I do not waste energy on what is unfruitful, for the patience to wait for confirmation when I am uncertain, remembering in Ephesians 5:15-17 to be careful how I live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil, longing for wisdom that redeems the time and uses it for good, praying for discernment in my speech, so that my words build up and not tear down, for understanding, to interpret situations with grace rather than suspicion, asking for the insight to recognize your hand even in closed doors, for the maturity to trust that I know from you protection and not loss, remembering in Psalm 119-125 to give me discernment that I may understand your statutes, seeking to have my mind constantly renewed, so that I may test and approve your good, pleasing, and perfect will, praying for the ability to perceive the real needs behind the visible surface, for the heart to act in alignment with that understanding, for the courage to follow through on what you reveal, asking that you remove confusion and replace it with light, that you silence the voices that lead astray and amplify the voice of truth, for the grace to remain steady when discernment reveals uncomfortable truths, for the strength to stand apart when others follow the wrong path, for the humility to continually seek your perspective rather than relying solely on my own, remembering in Proverbs 4-7 that wisdom is supreme. Therefore I should get wisdom, and with all my getting, get understanding, longing to live in the safety that comes from discernment grounded in your word, praying that my discernment grows with every season of life, that it is sharpened through experience and obedience, that it becomes a natural reflex to turn to you in every uncertainty, asking for the peace to trust your timing in revealing answers, for the strength to hold my position when discernment says wait, for the joy of walking confidently because I know I am guided by truth, for the endurance to keep seeking understanding without becoming weary, remembering in 1 John 4:1 to test the spirits to see whether they are from God, asking for that testing to be done with love and without judgment, longing for my discernment to reflect your heart and lead me into deeper intimacy with you, for the clarity that frees me from anxiety over choices, for the vision to see beyond the present moment, for the understanding to align every step with eternal purpose, and for the courage to live each day guided by the light of truth that comes from you alone. Father, I desire that my heart be so attuned to you that my spirit catches even the smallest movement of your guidance, asking that my understanding be deepened so that I do not confuse personal preference with divine leading, longing for my discernment to grow in depth, accuracy, and humility, so that each step I take is led by the truth of your Spirit, remembering in Psalm 143:10 to teach me to do your will, for you are my God. May your good Spirit lead me on level ground, asking for wisdom in moments when many options seem good, but only one aligns with your perfect plan, for the insight to see the difference between temporary benefit and eternal value, for the foresight to sense where a decision will lead before it unfolds, praying for clarity to recognize the difference between your timing and my impatience, for discernment to identify when a thought is birthed from faith and when it is stirred by fear, for the strength to reject paths that do not bear the mark of your peace, remembering in Proverbs 8:12 that wisdom dwells with prudence and finds knowledge and discretion, asking that I may walk in that reality daily, for the sensitivity to see the lessons hidden in difficulty, the opportunities wrapped in challenges, and the warnings embedded in small details, for discernment in prayer, so that I ask according to your will, for wisdom in counsel, so that I speak from a place of truth and compassion, for the grace to recognize when to step forward boldly and when to quietly hold my ground, remembering In Isaiah 30-21, that whether I turn to the right or to the left, my ears will hear a voice behind me saying, "This is the way, walk in it," asking for that voice to be amplified in my spirit until it becomes my constant companion, for the insight to see when opposition is meant to strengthen my resolve, and when it is a sign to change direction, for the humility to seek confirmation through your word before making significant decisions, for discernment in how I steward relationships, so that I nurture those aligned with your will and release those that draw me away. Remembering in Job 12:13 that with you are wisdom and strength, counsel and understanding, asking for discernment in how I use my time so that it reflects my priorities in you, for wisdom to discern the needs of my body, mind, and spirit, so I may care for them in balance, for insight into when to rest and when to work diligently, for the ability to perceive the unseen influences shaping situations, remembering in Daniel 21 that you give wisdom to the wise and knowledge to the discerning, for discernment in how I receive information, so that I am not swayed by confusion or half-truths, for understanding in interpreting dreams, visions, or impressions from you, for the maturity to wait until you confirm their meaning, asking for discernment in my speech, so that my words are measured and purposeful, in my listening, so that I hear the heart behind what is spoken, in my decisions, so that they honor your truth, remembering in Hosea 14:9 that the ways of the Lord are right, the righteous walk in them, and I desire to walk faithfully in that path, for discernment in my finances, so that I invest and give with purpose and integrity, for the insight to recognize hidden traps in opportunities, for the wisdom to see the real cost of choices before committing, asking for discernment to identify when a door is closed for my protection, for the strength to accept it without resentment, for the ability to recognize divine appointments and treat them with reverence, remembering in Micah 6-8 that you require me to act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with you. And I ask that my discernment lead me in fulfilling that call, for insight into recognizing when silence speaks louder than words, when gentleness is stronger than force, when patience is more powerful than haste, for discernment to sense the atmosphere of a place and know whether to stay or to move on, asking for wisdom in interpreting the emotions and thoughts that rise within me, so I may distinguish between my own voice, the influence of others, and the prompting of the Spirit, remembering in Ecclesiastes 8-5 that whoever obeys your command will come to no harm, and the wise heart will know the proper time and procedure, for discernment to sense when to let go of something that is good in order to receive what is best, for wisdom in how to respond to sudden changes, for understanding to navigate new environments with confidence anchored in you, asking for the grace to remain unshaken when discernment shows that a season is shifting, for the foresight to prepare for what lies ahead without anxiety, for discernment to see the long-term impact of present choices, remembering in Jeremiah 33:3 that you invite me to call on you, and you will answer and tell me great and unsearchable things I do not know. Asking for the ability to recognize your fingerprints in the smallest details of my day, for wisdom to respond to convictions without delay, for discernment in recognizing the spiritual root of certain challenges, so that I address them effectively, for insight to know when to intercede and when to stand still in trust, remembering in Zechariah 4:6 that it is not by might nor by power, but by your Spirit that true guidance comes, asking for discernment to navigate conversations with grace, to read the room and speak with words that heal, to withdraw from discussions that bring no fruit, for the sensitivity to know when my presence is required and when my absence is more beneficial, for wisdom to discern divine timing in every action, remembering in Matthew 7:15-16 that by their fruit you'll recognize them, for the ability to see fruit clearly in both situations and people, for discernment in recognizing when a challenge is a test of faith and when it is a warning sign, for the patience to observe before acting, for wisdom to recognize when help is truly needed and when it enables dependency, asking for insight to see the subtle ways pride can influence decisions, so I may remain humble before you, remembering in Luke 21:15 that you will give me words and wisdom that none of my adversaries will be able to resist or contradict, for discernment to stand firm in truth without arrogance, to remain gentle while being unwavering, to walk in peace without compromising righteousness, for wisdom in discerning the voices I allow into my life, for the ability to recognize when a teaching aligns with your word or distorts it, remembering in John 10:27 that your sheep listen to your voice and follow you, asking that my ears be so tuned to your tone that I recognize it instantly, for discernment in recognizing the difference between surrendering to your will and giving up prematurely, for insight into when a door remains closed because the season is not yet ready, for the patience to wait until you open it, for wisdom to discern when my energy is being spent on what has no eternal value, for the grace to redirect it toward what matters most, for discernment in how to pray for others, so that my words align with what you are doing in their lives, remembering in Acts 17-11 that those who examined the scriptures daily to see if what they heard was true are commended, asking for that same discipline in my own life, for discernment to sense when you are leading me into deeper trust through uncertainty, for wisdom to see the difference between a temporary setback and a redirection, for the humility to follow even when the path is unfamiliar, for the courage to stand still when discernment tells me to wait, and for the joy that comes from knowing I am walking under the constant counsel of your Spirit. Lord, I am before you with a heart that desires freedom from every root of bitterness, asking that you search the deep places within me where hurt, resentment, and unspoken pain may have taken root. For I know that these hidden places can poison my joy and cloud my vision, and I long for your healing power to cleanse me completely. Remembering in Hebrews 12:15 that I am warned to see to it that no bitter root grows up to cause trouble and defile many. So I ask you to shine your light into the memories and wounds that I have carried for too long, the moments I replay in my mind that keep anger alive, the injustices that I have silently stored away, and the offenses I have nursed in my heart, asking you to consume them with your holy fire until they have no power left over me. For I know that bitterness does not only affect my thoughts, but can influence my words, my decisions, and my relationships. So I plead with you to guard my tongue from speaking from a place of pain, to soften my responses, so they reflect grace, to shape my perspective so it sees people and situations through your mercy. Remembering in Ephesians 4:31-32 to get rid of all bitterness, rage, and anger, and to be kind and compassionate, forgiving just as you forgave me. Asking for the strength to forgive even when apologies never come, to release the need for repayment or recognition, to let go of the weight of grudges that slow my spiritual growth, praying that the Holy Spirit will continually remind me when bitterness begins to creep back in, prompting me to deal with it immediately in prayer before it can harden my heart. Remembering in Colossians 3:13 that I must bear with others and forgive as you have forgiven me. Asking you to teach me how to love past offense, how to bless those who have caused me pain, how to speak life over situations where my instinct is to curse or complain, to give me discernment to see that bitterness often hides behind pride and self-protection, to expose these disguises so I can surrender them fully. Remembering in Proverbs 14:10 that the heart knows its own bitterness, and I confess to you the moments I have tried to hide it even from myself, asking that you replace every trace of it with compassion, patience, and understanding, to make my heart fertile soil for kindness, humility, and faithfulness, to help me remember that I am called to walk in love no matter what has been done to me. Remembering in Romans 12:17-18 to not repay anyone evil for evil, but to live at peace with everyone as far as it depends on me. Asking for the courage to actively pursue peace in places where tension lingers, to be willing to be the first to reach out, to heal rifts instead of widening them, to allow you to fight my battles, so I do not waste energy on revenge. Remembering in Matthew 5:44 to love my enemies and pray for those who persecute me. Asking for the grace to genuinely intercede for those who have wronged me, not with words that mask resentment, but with prayers that desire their good, to bless their journey with you, to ask for their transformation, as I also ask for my own, to help me trust that vengeance belongs to you, and that you judge with righteousness. Remembering in Psalm 37:8 to refrain from anger and turn from wrath, to not fret because it only leads to evil, asking for the ability to see every offense as an opportunity to grow in grace, every betrayal as a moment to deepen my dependence on you, every wound as a place for your healing to be displayed, to help me resist the temptation to rehearse wrongs in my mind, to instead replace those thoughts with thanksgiving for the ways you have sustained me, to remind me that my worth is not diminished by the words or actions of others, to fill my heart with gratitude so bitterness finds no room to dwell. Remembering in James 1:19-20 to be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. For human anger does not produce the righteousness you desire. Asking you to reshape my reactions so that they are birthed from love and not from hurt. To make me patient when my pride is tested, gentle when my limits are pushed, silent when my words would only fuel strife. Remembering in 1 Peter 3-9 to not repay evil with evil or insult with insult, but with blessing. So I ask for the strength to turn moments of provocation into moments of intercession, to choose kindness when contempt is shown, to speak peace where hostility reigns, to live as one who has been forgiven much and therefore forgives much. Remembering in Psalm 51:10 to create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. Asking for your Spirit to continually cleanse my heart, so that no residue of bitterness can remain, to pour into me the oil of joy that drives out mourning, the garment of praise that replaces a spirit of heaviness, the refreshing of your presence that makes old wounds powerless. Remembering in Galatians 5:22-23 that the fruit of the Spirit includes love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Asking you to make these fruits flourish in my life so fully that bitterness cannot survive. To let my character reflect your nature more than my experiences reflect my pain. To help me focus on what you are doing in me, rather than on what was done to me. Remembering in Psalm 34:18 that you are close to the broken-hearted and save those who are crushed in spirit. Thanking you for being near to me in moments when the weight of hurt felt unbearable, for sustaining me when I wanted to give up, for reminding me that healing is possible. Asking you to use my story as a testimony of your transforming power, to turn past wounds into wisdom, to make me a vessel of encouragement to those still trapped in bitterness, to let my words and life point others toward the freedom found in forgiving. Remembering into Corinthians 5:17 that if anyone is in Christ, they are a new creation. The old has gone, the new is here. Asking for the faith to believe that I am no longer defined by past offenses or past responses, that I can walk forward in peace, that I can live unbound, that my heart can be light again, that my soul can be refreshed daily, and that bitterness will have no claim on me ever again, because your love is my refuge and my healer forever. Father, touch the places in me where the residue of bitterness still tries to hide, where unspoken hurts linger in shadows, and where quiet resentment sometimes disguises itself as indifference. I ask you to dismantle every wall I have built to protect myself that has instead trapped me in unforgiveness, to remove every defense mechanism that has become a prison, and to breathe fresh life into the places where my soul has felt suffocated. Remembering in Psalm 139 to 23-24 that you search me and know my heart, test me and know my anxious thoughts, and I pray that you expose anything within me that grieves you, anything that separates me from the fullness of your peace, anything that robs me of the joy you have promised. Lord, remove from me every heavy memory that feeds offense. Break the cycle of replaying the past until it shapes my present. Deliver me from the subtle ways bitterness tries to influence my decisions. Guard me from becoming cynical and assuming the worst in others, and instead fill me with an expectation of goodness and redemption in every relationship and circumstance. Remembering in Isaiah 43 to 18-19 that I am to forget the former things and not dwell on the past, for you are doing a new thing. Help me not to cling to pain as proof of my story, but to release it so I can embrace the newness you have for me. Let my thoughts be saturated with truth and grace, so there is no room for resentment to take root. Saturate my speech with kindness, so no word spoken from my mouth sows discord or keeps old wounds open. Cause my heart to be so full of your love that I instinctively choose mercy over judgment. Let the flow of my emotions be steady and anchored in your presence, so I am not easily stirred into offense. Lord, strengthen me to bless even in moments where my flesh resists, to give without expecting return, to serve without keeping record. Remembering in Luke 6:35 that you call me to love even those who may act as my enemies, and to do good to them. Let my heart be so free from bitterness that I can rejoice in their progress, pray for their well-being, and sincerely desire their closeness to you. Father, give me the humility to admit when I have been wrong, the courage to seek reconciliation where possible, and the wisdom to know when peace means stepping back without harboring ill will. Remembering in Proverbs 4:23 that I am to guard my heart above all else, for it is the wellspring of life. Teach me to guard it not by locking it away, but by continually bringing it before you for cleansing. Purify my motives, so that my acts of kindness are not tainted by hidden grudges or silent bitterness. Help me to rejoice in truth and not in vindication, to desire healing over justice when justice is sought from my own perspective, to trust you as the righteous judge who sees every detail more clearly than I ever could. Remembering in Lamentations 3:22-23 that your mercies are new every morning. Help me to wake each day with a heart unchained by yesterday's wounds, to look ahead with hope, to embrace the opportunities to show the grace I have so freely received. Let my faith be active in believing that the more I surrender my hurt to you, the more space I make for your blessings to flow. Lord, help me to be patient with my own process of healing, not rushing to prove that I am whole, but resting in the assurance that you are completing the work you began in me. Help me to recognize that bitterness does not always vanish in a moment, but can fade as I consistently choose to release it, remembering in Philippians 1-6 that you will carry on to completion the good work you started. Give me eyes to see the small victories that show my progress, the softer words, the calmer reactions, the quicker forgiveness, the deeper compassion. Remind me to celebrate these as evidence of your Spirit's work in me, not as my own strength. Fill my prayers with intercession, not just for myself, but for others who may be bound by the same heaviness I once carried. Help me to speak encouragement to those who are struggling to let go, to share the truth that freedom is possible, remembering in Psalm 34:1 that I will bless the Lord at all times. Let my life be a living testimony of what happens when bitterness burns away and joy takes its place. Lord, I ask that you plant in me seeds of gratitude that grow so abundantly they choke out the weeds of resentment. Teach me to notice your goodness in the smallest details of my life, to keep a record of your faithfulness, so that no wrong against me can overshadow the right you have done for me. Let the light of your presence be so constant in my heart that darkness cannot remain. Burn away in me every trace of the desire to see someone else fail, every hint of satisfaction in another's struggle, every unspoken wish for repayment. Replace them with a longing to see others thrive in your will. Remembering in 1 Thessalonians 5:16-18 to rejoice always, pray continually, and give thanks in all circumstances. Help me to embrace this posture until bitterness has no foothold. Lord, even in situations where the pain was deep and the wound was fresh, teach me to believe that my healing matters more than holding on to the offense, that my peace matters more than proving a point, that my joy matters more than preserving my pride. Align my desires so that they mirror yours. Let my spirit respond to hurt with prayer instead of plotting, to rejection with worship instead of withdrawal. Remembering in John 15:4 that if I remain in you and you in me, I will bear much fruit. Let this fruit be evident in every interaction I have. Let it be the proof that bitterness has been replaced by love. Father, make me quick to repent when I notice resentment stirring in me, quick to humble myself before you and admit that I cannot uproot it on my own, quick to lean on your Spirit for guidance, and quick to apply your word to my situation. Remembering in Psalm 19:14 that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart should be pleasing in your sight. Lord, let my heart be a place you delight to dwell, because it is free from malice and filled with peace. Remove from me the tendency to revisit past offenses in my conversations, to rehearse my pain for validation, to hold on to the role of a victim, and instead give me the posture of a victor whose heart is light, whose words are uplifting, whose presence is marked by peace. Lord, I ask that even in moments of deep disappointment, I find the strength to run to you first, to pour out my frustration without filtering it, knowing that you can handle my honesty, and then to receive from you the comfort and correction I need. Remembering in Isaiah 26:3 that you will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust in you. Anchor me in this trust until my reactions are no longer shaped by my wounds, but by my worship, until every area of my life reflects the reality that bitterness no longer has any claim on me. Lord, I am before you with a desire for more of you, a longing that is not satisfied by what I have known before, but is constantly reaching toward the depths of who you are. I ask that you strip away complacency, remove the comfort that lulls my spirit into stagnation, and awaken in me a fresh hunger for your presence, a craving for your word, a deep thirst for communion with you that cannot be quenched by anything else. As in Psalm 42:1, where the psalmist says his soul pants for you, and as the deer pants for streams of water. Let my soul pursue you with that same relentless urgency. Keep me from settling for shallow prayers and surface worship, igniting me a yearning to know your heart and to sit at your feet. Give me the discipline to seek you when distractions call for my attention, the focus to press into your word until it transforms my thinking, the patience to wait on you until my soul is stilled in your presence. Let my mornings be marked by your voice, and my nights be filled with meditations of your truth. Open my eyes to the beauty of your ways, and let it draw me nearer every day. As in Jeremiah 15:16, where it says that your words were found and eaten, and became the joy and rejoicing of the heart. Let your word feed my spirit until I am nourished in ways nothing else can satisfy. Remove the dullness that sometimes clouds my pursuit and replace it with eager expectation. Awaken me in the middle of the night to pray when you call. Remind me to pause throughout the day to acknowledge you. Make me sensitive to the stirring of your spirit, so I do not miss the moments you are drawing me closer. Keep me from spiritual laziness and shake me out of any pattern that keeps me distant from your fullness. Let the fire of my devotion be continually stoked through worship, through prayer, through obedience, through surrender, and through the constant remembrance of your goodness. As in Psalm 63:1, where David declares that he seeks you earnestly and thirsts for you in a dry and weary land where there is no water. Let my soul know that apart from you I am empty. Lord, teach me to value your presence more than comfort, more than blessings, more than answers, more than anything my flesh might crave. Let me hunger to please you, to obey you, to align my steps with your will, and to be a vessel through which your glory is revealed. Give me the courage to fast and pray when my spirit needs sharpening, to shut out the noise of the world, so I can hear the whisper of your spirit, to dive deep into your word until the truth I read becomes the truth I live. Help me to treasure every revelation you give me and to respond with faith. Keep me from taking your nearness for granted, and let my heart be ever aware of how precious it is to be invited into communion with you. As in Matthew 5-6, where you say, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled." Let that blessing be my reality. Let that hunger never be fully satisfied, so that I am always seeking, always reaching, always pressing into deeper intimacy. Make my heart restless when I drift. Draw me back when I wander. Call me higher when I linger too long in one place. And awaken within me a holy dissatisfaction with living below the fullness of what you have prepared for me. Fill me with a desire to pray without ceasing, to worship with abandon, to meditate on your word until my thoughts are transformed, to seek your face until your presence becomes the air I breathe, as in Psalm 27:8, when you said, "Seek my face," and my heart said, "Your face, Lord, I will seek." Let that be my constant response. Give me a hunger for purity, for holiness, for truth, for the things that please you. Let me not be content with hearing about you from others, but drive me to experience you for myself, to taste and see that you are good, to encounter your power in my daily life, to see your hand guiding my every decision. As in Proverbs 2:4-5, where it says to seek wisdom as silver and search for it as hidden treasure. Then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. Give me that treasure hunting spirit that never stops digging into your word, that refuses to be satisfied with surface understanding, that delights in the depth of revelation you reveal to those who seek you diligently. Stir up in me a passion for prayer that makes me run to you before I run to anyone else, that causes me to bring every matter, small or great, to your throne, that makes me more eager to hear from you than to voice my own complaints, awakening me a joy in serving you, in walking in obedience, in being set apart for your purposes. Let my hunger for you spill over into every area of my life until it influences my relationships, my work, my thoughts, and my actions. And as in Isaiah 55:1, where you call those who thirst to come to the waters, let me come daily, hourly, continually, to drink deeply of your Spirit, until I am overflowing with living water, never running dry, because I remain connected to the source. Let my appetite for your presence grow stronger the more I feed it, until seeking you is not a task, but the deepest desire of my soul. Father, deepen in me an unshakable longing for your presence, a craving that grows stronger each day and pulls me into greater intimacy with you. Let my heart yearn for your voice in the quiet moments, and my soul ache for the sweetness of communion with you. Remove every distraction that tries to compete with my affection for you, and silence every noise that drowns out the whisper of your Spirit. Give me the kind of desire that makes me rise early to seek you and stay late in your presence, just to linger a little longer, as in Psalm 119:20, where the soul is consumed with longing for your laws at all times. Let my inner being be consumed with longing for your truth. Cause my heart to find no rest until I am aligned with your will. Give me a thirst that pushes me past spiritual laziness and into steadfast pursuit. Let the fire within me be constant and unquenchable, even when I feel weary or face resistance. Let that hunger drive me to seek deeper understanding of your word, to pray with sincerity and persistence, to worship in spirit and in truth, and to obey without hesitation. Draw me closer with every revelation you give. Awaken my spirit to recognize the subtle ways you are speaking. Cause my heart to burn as the disciples' hearts did when you spoke to them on the road. Let my hunger for you be stronger than my desire for comfort, recognition, or any earthly pursuit. Teach me to value time with you above all else, to guard it jealously, and to approach it with joy and reverence. Let my days be marked by moments where I stop to acknowledge your presence, even in the middle of busyness, and let my nights be filled with gratitude and reflection on your goodness, as in 1 Chronicles 16:11, where it says to seek the Lord and His strength, seek His face continually. Help me to develop that continual seeking, a lifestyle where my thoughts are lifted to you throughout the day, where my first instinct in every decision is to ask for your guidance, and where my heart is quick to respond to your promptings. Give me discipline to set aside every excuse that would keep me from pursuing you more fully. Let my appetite for your word grow until I am eager to open it and hear from you. Help me to store up your truth in my heart, so it becomes my meditation, my strength, and my guiding light. Awaken me in seasons where my spirit feels dull. Breathe life into my prayers, and remind me of the joy of abiding in you. Keep me from treating my relationship with you as routine, but renew my wonder each day. As in Psalm 34:8, where it says, "Taste and see that the Lord is good." Let every encounter with you make me long for more. Fill me with a holy persistence that refuses to be satisfied with where I am. Lead me into deeper waters of faith, where I must depend on you completely. And let my hunger for you drive me to lay down anything that hinders intimacy. Strip away pride, self-reliance, and any false security, until I cling to you as my only source of strength and peace. Let my hunger make me bold in prayer, steadfast in faith, and unwavering in my pursuit of righteousness. And as in Hosea 10:12, where it says to sow righteousness for yourselves, reap the fruit of unfailing love, and break up unplowed ground. For it is time to seek the Lord. Stir me to break up the unplowed ground of my heart, to remove hardness and prepare the soil for your word to take deep roots. Let my hunger make me ready for every new thing you desire to plant within me, and let the fruit of my pursuit be a life that reflects your nature, radiates your love, and points others to you without even speaking. Draw me into depths of prayer where my words run out and my spirit simply communes with yours. Open my understanding to mysteries of your word I have never seen before, and cause each revelation to stir up fresh desire for more. Protect my heart from anything that would dull my hunger. Keep me alert to the subtle drift that happens when I neglect your presence, and remind me daily that apart from you, I am empty. Lord, let this hunger for you not fade with seasons, but grow until the day I see you face to face. And even then, let it be the kind of hunger that will spend eternity delighting in who you are. As in Philippians 3:10, where Paul says he wants to know Christ, the power of his resurrection, and participation in his sufferings, becoming like him in his death. Give me that same relentless pursuit, the willingness to pay any price for the sake of knowing you more, and the determination to keep pressing forward, no matter how much I have already experienced of your goodness, for there will always be more of you to discover, more depths to explore, more glory to behold, and my soul longs for it with every breath. Lord, keep my spirit awake to your presence in every moment. Let there be a constant stirring within me that refuses to settle for a shallow walk when you are calling me into the depths. Let my heart be drawn with an irresistible pull toward your truth and your voice. Train my ears to hear the faintest whisper of your spirit and my heart to recognize your leading without hesitation. Open my eyes to see the beauty of your hand in the smallest details of my day, so that my awareness of you grows continually, as in Psalm 42:1, where the soul pants for you. Let my inner being yearn for you, my only source of life. Renew my desire to seek you not only in moments of need, but in every season. When my soul feels dry, refresh me with living water that restores my hunger. And when I feel strong, increase that desire, so I never become complacent. Remove from me every dullness and indifference towards spiritual things. Awaken me from spiritual slumber and cause my heart to burn with a passion for the things of your kingdom. Give me the discipline to set aside anything that distracts me from pursuing you wholeheartedly. Let my mind be stayed on you, so that my thoughts naturally drift toward prayer, worship, and reflection on your word. Draw me into moments of stillness where I can hear you more clearly, and into moments of fervent prayer where my spirit rises in faith and expectation. Teach me to approach you with both awe and intimacy, with reverence for your holiness and boldness to come before you as your child. Fill me with a longing that cannot be satisfied by anything this world offers, and let that longing propel me to dig deeper into your word, uncovering treasures that transform my heart, as in Jeremiah 29:13, where you say that I will seek you and find you when I search for you with all my heart. Keep me searching with all my heart, never holding back, never allowing fear, doubt, or weariness to keep me from pressing in. Let my hunger lead me to a place where obedience flows naturally, because my love for you outweighs every other influence. Let my pursuit of you shape my desires, align my will with yours, and transform my character until every part of me reflects you more. Remove the clutter in my heart that competes with my desire for you, whether it be misplaced priorities, unhealthy attachments, or lingering unbelief. Strengthen my resolve to guard my time with you fiercely, to approach it as the most valuable part of my day, and to protect it from intrusion. Awaken me in the night if you desire to speak, and give me the sensitivity to respond even in the quietest hours. Open doors for deeper encounters with you that leave me changed, and fill me with gratitude for every glimpse of your presence. As in Psalm 63:1, where the soul thirsts for you in a dry and weary land. Let my spirit thirst in that same way, driven by the knowledge that without you I am empty. Help me to stay consistent in pursuing you, even when I do not feel the emotional pull, knowing that discipline will keep my hunger alive until passion returns. Bring me to a place where my desire for you becomes the anchor of my life, holding me steady through trials and guiding me through decisions. Let my hunger draw me to worship with sincerity, to pray with faith, to study with diligence, and to serve with joy. Take away any pride that would make me think I have already arrived, and remind me that there is always more to learn, more to experience, more to surrender, as in Philippians 3:14, where it speaks of pressing toward the goal for the prize of the upward call of God in Christ Jesus. Help me to keep pressing toward you, never slowing down, never turning back, but running with endurance the race set before me. When distractions come, help me to refocus quickly. When temptations try to dull my hunger, help me to resist and turn my eyes back to you. And when I feel spiritually dry, help me to remember the joy of past encounters as a reminder to seek more. Lord, let this hunger refine my priorities. Teach me to choose time with you over convenience, to choose prayer over worrying, to choose worship over complaint, and to choose your presence over empty busyness. Shape my thoughts, so that even when I am engaged in the tasks of daily life, my mind is attuned to your spirit, so that my heart beats in rhythm with yours, and my actions flow from a place of abiding. Strengthen me to push through when seeking you feels costly, and remind me that every moment in your presence produces fruit that will last, as in Psalm 16:11, where it says, in your presence there is fullness of joy. Let my pursuit of you lead me continually into that fullness, a joy that sustains me, revives me, and keeps my hunger alive. Fill me with holy expectation every time I open your word, knowing that you are ready to speak, and let that expectation fuel my desire to return again and again. Give me the humility to be taught, the perseverance to keep seeking, and the courage to follow wherever you lead, even when the path requires change, challenge, or surrender. And let every answered prayer, every moment of revelation, every instance of your peace become fuel for even greater hunger, until my life is marked by an unbroken pursuit of you. Lord, breathe in me fresh vision that aligns with your perfect will. Let every clouded area of my understanding be cleared by the light of your wisdom. Let my eyes be open to see beyond what is immediate, so I can discern the paths you have prepared for me. Renew my mind, so I can recognize the opportunities you place before me and the doors you desire for me to walk through. Awaken in me the ability to perceive the assignments you have placed in my hands and to carry them out with excellence. Remove every fog of confusion, doubt, and fear that seeks to limit my perspective. Sharpen my focus, so I am not distracted by temporary things, but remain fixed on the eternal purpose you have called me to, as in Proverbs 29 minutes and 18 seconds, where it says, without vision the people perish. Give me the vision that sustains, directs, and empowers my steps. Let me not rely on my own understanding, but be guided by the insight that comes from your Spirit. Let your breath of life stir within me dreams that are rooted in your kingdom's agenda. Awaken ideas that bring glory to you and not to myself. Give me a heart willing to obey the instructions that come with the vision you give. Teach me to wait for clarity when I am uncertain, and to move boldly when the way is made clear. Open my ears to hear the specifics of your leading, so I will know when to speak, when to act, and when to remain still. As in Habakkuk 2:2, where you instructed to write the vision and make it plain. Help me to not only receive vision, but to steward it faithfully, writing it down, praying over it, and taking deliberate steps to bring it to pass in your timing. Remove every seed of fear that would make me shrink back from the size of the vision placed within me. Let my faith expand to match the scope of what you have shown me. Surround me with the wisdom to discern between the visions that come from you and the distractions that come from my own desires. Help me to value the process as much as the fulfillment, knowing that each step is shaping me for the vision's completion. As in Isaiah 43:19, where you declare that you are doing a new thing. Let me see the new things you are bringing forth in my life and not miss them, because my eyes are still fixed on the old. Give me spiritual sensitivity to recognize divine appointments, strategic connections, and opportunities that will propel the vision forward. Let me not despise the days of small beginnings, but treasure them as foundations for the greater things to come. Let my heart remain humble, so that no matter how far the vision unfolds, I remember that it is you who gives the power to accomplish it. Strengthen me against discouragement when the vision takes time. Let my hope remain anchored in you, as in Psalm 32:8, where you promise to instruct and teach me in the way I should go. Guide me with your loving eye upon me, and keep me from straying into paths that are not meant for me. Grant me the grace to be patient when waiting feels heavy and to be diligent when action is required. Help me to speak words of life over the vision you have given me, to pray over it daily, and to guard it from doubt and negativity. Let my vision be infused with compassion, integrity, and a heart for service, so that it will bear fruit that lasts. Give me divine creativity to see solutions where others see problems, and strategies where others see obstacles. Let my spirit remain teachable, so that I can grow into the capacity required to carry what you entrust to me. Let every step I take be in alignment with the vision, so that my life becomes a testimony of your faithfulness, as in Ephesians 1:18, where it speaks of the eyes of understanding being enlightened. Let my eyes be enlightened, so that I may know the hope of your calling and the riches of the inheritance in Christ. Bring clarity where there has been confusion, direction where there has been wandering, and conviction where there has been hesitation. Let your fresh vision burn within me so deeply that it ignites passion and persistence even in seasons of waiting. Make me bold enough to dream according to the measure of faith you have given me, and steadfast enough to remain committed until it is fulfilled. Keep me from comparing my journey to others and help me to focus on the unique path you have designed for me. Help me to remember that vision requires both faith and action. So let my hands be ready to work while my heart remains in prayer. Show me the people I am called to serve through this vision, and prepare them to receive the fruit of what you will accomplish through me. Let me always seek your kingdom first, trusting that as I walk in obedience to the vision, all other things will be added according to your promise in Matthew 6:33. Keep my vision pure, free from selfish ambition, and fully surrendered to your glory. Let every setback become a lesson that sharpens my understanding, every delay a moment to deepen my faith, and every challenge a step closer to fulfillment. Breathe in me the persistence to keep going when others quit, the discernment to know when to adjust the plan but not abandon the purpose, and the gratitude to praise you in every stage of the journey. Keep my eyes lifted so I do not lose sight of the finish line, and my heart anchored so I do not drift from the original call. Let me carry the vision with integrity, perseverance, and unwavering trust, until it becomes a living testimony of your power working through a willing vessel. Father, let your Spirit rise in my heart with clarity and purpose, causing me to walk with a sense of divine direction that cannot be shaken. Let my spirit remain sensitive to your whisper, so that I will not miss the moments when you speak or the signs you place before me. Help me to embrace the vision with a spirit of excellence, to give my best in all that I do, so that every step honors you. Teach me to nurture what you place in my heart with faithfulness, knowing that vision often begins as a seed and must be tended with patience and diligence. As in Jeremiah 33:3, where you say to call upon you, and you will answer and show great and mighty things I do not know. Let me call upon you continually for insight into the next steps and for strength to carry them out. Remove any fear of the unknown that would hold me back from moving forward, and replace it with a bold trust that you are with me every step of the way. Let me see beyond the immediate obstacles into the possibilities you have already prepared. Help me to value the process as much as the destination, so that my character is refined along with the unfolding of the vision. Give me the humility to receive wise counsel and the discernment to know which voices are sent by you to guide me. Keep my heart from becoming weary when results are not immediate. Instead, let hope and expectation fill me daily. As in Philippians 1-6, where it says you will complete the good work you began in me. Let me live with the assurance that you will not abandon the vision you placed in my heart. Protect me from distractions that promise quick results but lead away from the path you have set. Let me treasure the uniqueness of the vision you give me without measuring it against what others have. Make my steps purposeful, my decisions spirit-led, and my actions fruitful. Give me eyes to recognize the resources you have already placed in my life to move forward. Let me use what is in my hand while trusting you to provide what is still needed. Keep my mind sharp and my spirit strong, so I can carry the vision through every season. As in Psalm 119 to 105, where your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Let me stay guided by the light of your truth, so I do not veer into confusion. Make me quick to obey your leading even when I do not have the full picture. For I know that each act of obedience brings me closer to the fullness of what you have shown. Let my speech align with the vision, so that my words do not contradict what I believe for. Help me to guard my heart against doubt and bitterness when the journey feels long, instead filling my thoughts with gratitude for every small victory along the way. Cause me to remain steadfast even in seasons of testing, knowing that endurance will bring maturity. Grant me divine creativity to solve problems, to innovate, and to see new ways forward when old methods no longer serve. Let me rise each day with renewed determination to move toward what you have shown me. Give me strength to overcome every hindrance and faith to believe even when circumstances seem contrary, as in Corinthians 4:18, where it says to fix our eyes not on what is seen but on what is unseen. Help me to keep my focus on the eternal impact of the vision rather than temporary challenges. Let every step I take align with the pace you have ordained, so I am neither rushing ahead nor lagging behind. Make my heart free from the desire for recognition, so that the vision remains purely for your glory. Help me to encourage myself in you when others do not understand what I am pursuing. Let my inner strength come from knowing that I am moving in step with your spirit. Let the breath of fresh vision continually revive me, so that I never lose my sense of divine assignment. Let the joy of walking in purpose overflow into every area of my life. Allow me to see the people and places connected to this vision with compassion and clarity, and help me to serve them with humility. Open my eyes to the hidden opportunities that will move the vision forward. Give me the persistence to keep pressing on when progress seems slow. Let me sow in prayer, work with diligence, and wait in faith for the harvest you have appointed. Let my life be a testimony that a vision birthed in prayer and carried by obedience will always be fulfilled in your time. Let me not be swayed by temporary setbacks or voices of discouragement. Instead, let me be anchored in the truth of your promises, as in Isaiah 30-21, where it says, "My ears will hear a voice behind me, saying, 'This is the way. Walk in it.'" Let me hear that voice clearly and follow without hesitation. Keep me from settling for less than what you have revealed. Give me the courage to dream according to the measure of faith you have given me, and the discipline to prepare for the fulfillment. Help me to live in such a way that I am ready for every open door you provide. Let my attitude remain one of gratitude and my heart full of worship through the entire journey. Teach me to rejoice in each step, no matter how small, for I know every step brings me closer to the full manifestation of the vision. Keep my faith alive, my spirit hopeful, and my determination unshakable. Let me walk each day with the assurance that the one who breathed the vision into me will breathe life into it until it is complete. Lord, let my heart remain tender to your leading, so that I may discern each opportunity placed in my path. Fill my inner being with the light of revelation, so I may walk confidently even when the way ahead is unknown. Grant me the ability to see beyond present limitations into the greater plans you have already established. Let my mind be renewed daily, so that I think according to your promises and not according to fear. Teach me to wait with expectation and to act with boldness when the moment comes, as in Habakkuk 2:3, where the vision awaits an appointed time and will surely come. Help me to trust your timing and not grow impatient. Remove any veil of confusion from my understanding and let divine clarity take its place. Place within me a hunger to pray over the vision continually, so that it remains alive in my heart. Strengthen my resolve to pursue what you have shown me even when results are slow to appear. Guard my focus from being scattered by distractions and keep my eyes fixed on the task you have entrusted to me. Help me to manage my time, energy, and resources wisely, so that I am prepared for each step forward. Breathe fresh creativity into my mind, so I may find new ways to move in alignment with your will. Let my speech be filled with faith, so that I speak life over every aspect of the vision. Keep me steady when others may not understand or agree with the path I take. Surround me with those who will encourage and uplift me as I walk in obedience. Let my heart be free from comparison, so I can rejoice in the unique calling you have given me. Make me courageous enough to step through doors you open and discerning enough to avoid those that lead away from your purpose. Strengthen my faith, so that I do not retreat in the face of difficulty. As in Joshua 1-9, where you command to be strong and courageous, because you are with me wherever I go. Remind me daily that I do not walk alone. Help me to endure seasons of preparation without frustration, recognizing they are shaping me for the fulfillment ahead. Protect the vision from being altered by doubt, pride, or impatience. Keep it pure and aligned with your original intent. Allow me to see progress, even in small increments, so that hope remains strong within me. Grant me wisdom to know when to push forward and when to pause and wait upon you. Give me an ear that hears your instructions clearly and a will that follows without resistance. Help me to stay rooted in your word, so that my foundation remains unshakable. Let my thoughts be anchored in truth, so they are not swayed by fear or false appearances. Make me attentive to the lessons hidden in each challenge, so that nothing in this journey is wasted. Let me find strength in prayer when my own strength fails. Let me worship in faith even before I see the answers. As in Psalm 27-14, where it says to wait for the Lord, be strong and take heart, and wait for the Lord. Help me to live with this patience. Keep my spirit from growing weary in doing good. Let me have the persistence to sow faithfully, knowing that the harvest will come in due season. Place divine order over every step, so that nothing is premature and nothing is delayed beyond your will. Keep me humble enough to learn from correction and wise enough to avoid repeating mistakes. Let my focus remain on pleasing you above all else. Help me to measure success not by human standards, but by faithfulness to what you have called me to do. Fill me with an unshakable peace that rests in knowing you are in control. Breathe new life into my passion when it begins to fade. Stir within me a renewed sense of urgency to act while it is day. Give me strength to rise again, to every setback, and vision to see beyond every obstacle. Let my faith be bigger than my fear and my obedience stronger than my hesitation. Fill my heart with gratitude for the privilege of carrying a vision from you. Help me to see each day as an opportunity to take another step forward. Let me be faithful over the small tasks, so that I am prepared for the larger responsibilities ahead. As in Luke 16:10, where it says, "Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much." Teach me to honor you in the little so that I may honor you in the much. Let my vision always remain connected to service and love for others. Keep me from self-centered ambition and align my motives with your heart. Let my inner life be as strong as my outer actions, so that the vision is carried in integrity. Let my walk be blameless before you, so that nothing hinders what you are doing. Asterisk. Fill me with the joy of knowing I am in step with your spirit. Let that joy be my strength in seasons of labor and waiting. Remind me that every delay can be a preparation. Every challenge can be a training ground. Every victory can be a testimony of your faithfulness. Help me to celebrate the journey as much as the destination. And above all, let the vision you breathe into me bring glory to your name and fulfill the purpose for which you sent it. Lord, breathe into my spirit a vision that grows stronger with every breath I take. Let it rise in me like a flame that cannot be quenched by discouragement or fear. Cause my heart to perceive the unseen and my faith to hold on to what you have promised until it becomes reality. Let the eyes of my understanding be enlightened, so I can clearly recognize the opportunities, doors, and divine alignments you are setting before me. Remove every fog of uncertainty and replace it with crystal clear direction. Strengthen my ability to act when you speak and to pause when you instruct me to wait. Teach me to steward the vision with prayer, diligence, and patience, keeping it alive within me through constant communion with you. Let my soul delight in the work ahead rather than being overwhelmed by the distance to the finish. Give me endurance to press forward through opposition and resilience to rise after any fall. Let my confidence not rest in my own ability, but in your unfailing power. Keep me from being distracted by noise, opinions, or temporary setbacks. Instead, keep me anchored in the assurance that you who began a good work in me will bring it to completion, as in Philippians 1-6. Help me to recognize the seasons you bring into my life, knowing which ones are for sowing, for tending, and for reaping. Let me walk with the awareness that even unseen growth beneath the surface is still progress. Give me wisdom to handle the resources, connections, and influence that come my way, so they are used for your purpose. Place within me a fresh creativity that allows me to approach challenges with innovation and faith. Keep me from frustration when the pace feels slow, and from arrogance when progress seems quick. Let humility be the guard of my heart, so the vision remains pure. Let my speech align with what you have shown me, so that I declare life and blessing over the work of my hands. Keep me from speaking defeat or doubt. Help me to hear your voice even in the smallest whisper, and to follow without hesitation. Remove any hidden fear of failure or fear of success that could hinder my steps. Give me discernment to identify relationships that will help carry the vision forward, and to release those that would pull it away from your plan. Fill my nights with dreams that affirm your direction, and my mornings with strength to take the next step. Teach me to rejoice in every milestone, and to remain steadfast when the journey feels long. Let my trust in you be unwavering, for as in Proverbs 3:5-6 you instruct to trust in the Lord with all my heart and lean not on my own understanding. In all my ways acknowledge you, and you will make my paths straight. Let my heart be quick to give you the glory for every breakthrough. Keep me consistent in prayer, so my spirit remains sensitive to your leading. Make me a good steward of time, so I do not miss divine appointments. Give me the discipline to prepare in private, so that I may walk effectively in public. Fill my inner man with strength, so that weariness cannot erode my resolve. Let the vision expand as I grow in you, showing me greater depth and purpose as I remain faithful. Guide me to recognize divine timing, so I am neither ahead of nor behind your plan. Help me to cultivate an atmosphere around me that supports growth, faith, and expectation. Guard my thoughts so that negativity finds no room within me, and keep my hope alive even in seasons of waiting. Help me to recognize the value in hidden seasons where you shape me away from the eyes of others. Give me the courage to say yes to what stretches me beyond my comfort zone, and the discernment to say no to what pulls me away from what you have entrusted to me. Remind me that my identity is in you and not in the outcome of the vision, so that whether in times of abundance or scarcity I remain steadfast in obedience. Let the fire of passion you ignite never dim through neglect, but instead be fed daily through prayer, worship, and your word. As in Isaiah 40:31, where those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Let this renewal be constant in me. Help me to keep my eyes forward, not dwelling on past failures or even past successes, but pressing toward the mark of the high calling you have placed before me. Let my mind be a place where faith flourishes and fear cannot take root. Help me to recognize that even small beginnings are the groundwork for greater things, and let gratitude flow from my heart for every step. Open my ears to wise counsel and close them to voices that seek to instill doubt. Let me always approach the vision with a servant's heart, remembering that the greatest fulfillment comes in seeing your will done. Keep me from chasing validation from people and teach me to rest in the approval that comes from you. Help me to find joy not only in the destination, but in the process of becoming who you have called me to be. Let every challenge I face serve as preparation for the weight of what is coming. Give me courage to walk through uncharted paths with the assurance that you go before me. Help me to maintain focus when distractions attempt to scatter my attention. Keep my priorities in divine order so that nothing competes with my devotion. To you, let my spirit remain teachable, always ready to learn more of your ways. Grant me vision not just for the immediate, but for the lasting impact of what you have placed in my heart. Let my faith grow deeper with every step, so that no trial can uproot it, and let my life be a living testimony of your power to breathe purpose, direction, and fulfillment into those who trust you fully. Lord, place a watch over my mouth and keep the door of my lips, so that every word that leaves me carries grace, wisdom, and truth. Remove from me the urge to speak hastily or to allow anger to shape my speech. Teach me to pause before I respond, to weigh my words in the light of your Spirit, and to let them be seasoned with kindness and understanding. Help me to resist the temptation to gossip, to slander, or to speak in ways that tear down rather than build up. Let my words be a source of healing and encouragement to those who hear them. Cleanse my heart so that what flows from my mouth is pure. For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, as in Luke 6:45. Create in me a heart so full of your presence that my speech naturally reflects your character. Give me discernment to know when to speak and when to remain silent, that I may not add fuel to conflict, but instead be an instrument of peace. Let my lips be slow to judge and quick to bless. Help me to speak truth without cruelty and correction without condemnation. Fill my mouth with words that inspire faith and hope, and keep me from uttering anything that would cause another to stumble. Purify my thoughts so that negative or unkind speech finds no root in me. Grant me wisdom to speak life over my own situation and not words of defeat. As in Proverbs 18:21, where death and life are in the power of the tongue, help me to use that power to declare your promises and not my fears. Let my conversations be fruitful and pleasing to you. Keep me from idle chatter that serves no purpose, and help me to focus on words that align with your will. Give me the humility to admit when I have spoken wrongly and the courage to make amends. Train my tongue to speak in prayer more than in complaint, to bless more than to curse, to encourage more than to criticize. Keep my speech free from deceit, exaggeration, or manipulation. Help me to remember that every word spoken has weight and influence, and to use that influence for good. Let me be quick to listen and slow to speak, as in James 1:19. Teach me that silence can be a shield, and that restraint can prevent many wounds. Help me to remember that my words are seeds and they will produce a harvest. So let my speech be intentional, sowing righteousness, peace, and love. Fill my mouth with scripture, so that what I speak carries eternal value. Guard me from speaking in moments of fatigue or frustration, where my self-control is low. Instead, give me the discipline to hold back until my words can honor you, place in me a deep conviction about the impact of my speech, so that I do not treat words lightly. Help me to speak blessings over those who wrong me, prayers over those who offend me, and intercession over those who hurt me. Keep my tongue from boasting or self-exaltation, and let my speech be marked by humility and gratitude. Help me to use my voice to proclaim your goodness daily, to testify of your works, and to glorify your name before others. Let my tongue be an instrument of worship, and not of complaint, of edification, and not of destruction. Teach me to redirect conversations toward what is wholesome and uplifting. Keep me from joining in with words that dishonor you, and help me to stand apart by the purity of my speech. Fill my heart with your word, so that in moments of pressure, what comes out of my mouth is aligned with truth. Give me the courage to speak against injustice when you prompt me, but always with grace and respect. Help me to bless my own future by declaring your plans and promises over my life, to speak over my family words of protection, guidance, and peace. Help me to see my tongue as a tool of ministry in daily life, whether in large conversations or small exchanges. Let me be mindful that every word is heard not only by people, but also by you. Remind me constantly that I will give account for every idle word, as in Matthew 12:36. Help me to guard my tone as much as my words, knowing that how I say something matters as much as what I say. Train me to pray before I speak in difficult situations, so that my words are guided by your wisdom. Keep me from sarcasm that wounds or humor that humiliates. Instead, give me the ability to speak in ways that bring light and not shadows. Help me to avoid speaking too much about myself, and instead take interest in others, teaching me to listen with care. Let me not speak in fear but in faith, not in doubt but in confidence of your word. Help me to restrain from speaking when my emotions are high and my judgment is clouded. Let my speech reflect the fruit of the Spirit, as in Galatians 5:22-23. That love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control may be heard in my words. Help me to be patient with those who speak harshly to me, responding with gentleness and not retaliation. Help me to use my words to bring clarity where there is confusion, hope where there is despair, and light where there is darkness. Make my mouth a fountain of life that refreshes and strengthens those around me. Let me be known as one whose speech honors you, who builds up rather than tears down, who blesses rather than curses, who prays rather than complains, and who speaks truth wrapped in love. Help me to continually surrender my tongue to you each morning, so that throughout the day it serves your purposes and reflects your heart. Help me to guard against the temptation to speak just to fill silence, teaching me that quietness can often carry more power than words. Grant me the maturity to avoid repeating things that do not concern me, and to refuse to spread unverified stories. Let my speech in public and private be consistent, always honoring you regardless of who is present. Keep me from speaking harshly to myself. Instead, help me to speak your promises over my own life, so that my spirit is strengthened. Help me to forgive quickly, so that bitterness does not leak into my speech. Let my lips be full of thanksgiving, always ready to praise you for even the smallest blessings. Help me to develop the discipline of praying before speaking into important matters, asking for your direction, so that my words will be fruitful. Give me an awareness of the spiritual atmosphere my words can create, whether in my home, workplace, or anywhere I go. And let me use that awareness to fill every space with peace and faith. Help me to replace complaining with gratitude, criticism with encouragement, and doubt with declarations of your truth. Let me not waste words on arguments that do not produce righteousness. Instead, teach me to walk away in wisdom. Help me to see that my tongue is a small member, but has great influence, so I submit it completely to you for your glory. Lord, let every word that proceeds from my mouth be tested and refined by your Spirit before it leaves my lips. Train me to weigh my responses in the light of eternity, so that I do not speak carelessly. Let me be quick to remember that once spoken, words cannot be retrieved, so I ask you to give me divine restraint. Teach me to answer gently when provoked and to speak with kindness when faced with harshness. Help me to use my words to sow peace into tense situations and to create unity where there is division. Cause my tongue to be a tool for blessing in every season. Grant me the wisdom to know when silence speaks louder than speech, and let my quietness be filled with the strength of self-control. Help me to be mindful that you hear every whisper and thought that shapes my speech. Fill my heart with such an abundance of your word that even in moments of pressure or difficulty, my tongue naturally declares your truth. Help me to avoid speaking from frustration, fatigue, or impulse. Instead, give me the discipline to pause and pray before responding. Remove from me the habit of speaking too quickly without reflection. Let my words be intentional, uplifting, and aligned with your will. Give me the courage to speak truth when necessary, but with the humility that draws others closer to you. Help me to edify others with my speech and never diminish their worth. Teach me to resist conversations that lead to strife or dishonor, and keep me from adding to the noise of fruitless talk. Help me to speak faith over impossibilities and to declare your promises over every circumstance in my life. Let my voice be used to pray more than to complain, to worship more than to argue, and to speak life more than to dwell on negativity. Place in me a deep reverence for the power of my tongue, so that I guard it diligently. Help me to remember the warning in Psalm 34:13, to keep my tongue from evil and my lips from speaking deceit. Remove any desire to impress through excessive words or flattery, and replace it with a sincere heart that speaks with integrity. Help me to maintain consistency in my speech, whether in public or in private. Let my conversations be the same before you and before men. Protect me from using my tongue to manipulate, exaggerate, or distort truth. Keep me humble enough to admit when my words have caused harm, and to make peace quickly. Teach me to listen with care, so that my responses are thoughtful and appropriate. Help me to bless even those who speak against me, to release forgiveness through my words, and to pray for those who misunderstand me. Make me sensitive to the way my tone affects others, so that my speech not only carries right words, but also the spirit of love. Guide me to use my tongue to encourage the weary, to strengthen the broken-hearted, and to bring comfort to those in need. Help me to choose silence over speaking if my words will not glorify you. Let me be known as one who speaks with wisdom, as in Proverbs 31-26, where the law of kindness is on the tongue. Teach me that sometimes the greatest act of faith is to speak only your word over a situation and nothing else. Help me to guard against speaking idly or carelessly about the future. Instead, let me commit my plans to you in prayer before declaring them. Give me the ability to turn conversations toward what is noble and true, keeping me from participating in speech that diminishes others or stirs offense. Help me to be disciplined in speaking blessings over my own life each day, proclaiming health, favor, and provision according to your promises. Let my lips be quick to give thanks and slow to speak of lack. Fill my speech with testimonies of your goodness, so that others are drawn to your light. Keep my tongue from comparing myself to others. Instead, let my words reflect gratitude for the unique way you are working in my life. Help me to use my voice to intercede for my family, my community, and my future, teaching me that prayer is the highest and most powerful use of my speech. Help me to let go of the need to have the last word in disagreements, choosing instead to let peace prevail. Teach me to use my words to restore relationships and heal wounds rather than deepen them. Keep my heart so aligned with yours that my speech naturally becomes a reflection of your love. Remind me daily that my words can either open doors of blessing or shut them. So help me to choose carefully. Let me speak more about who you are than about my problems, and more about what you can do than about what I cannot. Fill my mouth with praise in every season, not only in abundance, but also in times of waiting. Help me to affirm the worth of others through sincere words that uplift their spirit. Let me be intentional about speaking life into the dreams and purposes of those around me. Keep me from mocking, belittling, or speaking in ways that make others feel small. Give me the discernment to know when to offer counsel and when to simply listen. Help me to avoid repeating matters that are not mine to share. Let my speech in times of correction be full of grace and patience, knowing that harsh words can shut doors, but gentle ones can open hearts. Teach me to turn every negative report into an opportunity for intercession instead of complaint. Keep me alert to moments when I am tempted to speak in anger, helping me to choose peace instead. Help me to bless my own path with words of faith each morning, declaring that this is the day you have made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. As in Psalm 118-24. Give me the strength to speak encouragement to myself in moments of discouragement, declaring your word with boldness until my spirit is lifted. Help me to keep my lips free from self-condemnation and to instead declare my identity in you. Let my mouth overflow with gratitude so that complaining finds no room to grow. Teach me to answer with wisdom when questioned and with gentleness when opposed. Let my words carry the fragrance of Christ in every interaction. Help me to bless the work of my hands and speak fruitfulness over every assignment you give me. Keep me from speaking fear into my future. Instead, let my declarations be filled with hope. Align my tongue with your spirit, so that what I say on earth agrees with what you have already spoken in heaven. Give me grace to turn away wrath with a soft answer, as in Proverbs 15:1. Help me to release life over my health, my mind, and my spirit by speaking your promises daily. Let my lips speak peace over every storm and calm over every anxious heart. And may my voice always be ready to give you honor and glory in every place you set my feet. Lord, let every word I speak be anchored in your truth and saturated with grace. Train my heart to filter my speech through the wisdom of your Spirit, and let my lips be instruments that honor you in every moment. Keep me from responding hastily in moments of pressure. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. Help me to slow my speech so that it may carry thoughtfulness and clarity. Let my conversations be seasoned with peace, so that even in disagreement, there is dignity and respect. Cause my words to carry the fragrance of encouragement that uplifts those who hear them. Give me the discipline to withhold words when they are unnecessary, and the boldness to speak when they are needed. Let my mouth be a fountain of blessing and not a channel of destruction. Help me to set a guard over my lips, as in Psalm 141:3, so that I may not harm others with careless talk. Teach me to weigh the eternal impact of my speech before releasing it. Let my tongue reflect the love that is in my heart, so that what I say is as nourishing as what I mean. Protect me from the temptation to join in with gossip, slander, or speech that diminishes others. Let me instead redirect conversations toward righteousness and truth. Help me to be swift to listen and slow to speak, that I may avoid the regret of words spoken in haste. Give me grace to handle every conversation with humility. Help me to be more concerned about speaking life into a situation than proving a point. Align my heart with yours so deeply that even when I am silent, my presence carries your peace. Cause my voice to be one that brings calm to chaos, hope to despair, and light to darkness. Help me to confess your promises aloud over my life and circumstances, so that my faith is strengthened. Let me be intentional about declaring blessings over my future, my work, and my relationships. Teach me to avoid using my tongue for self-pity or doubt, Instead, let me use it for thanksgiving and worship. Help me to speak healing into my own heart through declarations of your word. Give me the strength to encourage myself when I am weary, to sing praises when I am troubled, and to pray without ceasing in every situation. Help me to remember that my words have creative power, so I choose to speak what builds, not what destroys. Help me to use my voice as a tool for intercession, lifting up my needs and the needs of others before you. Guide me to replace every complaint with gratitude and every expression of fear with a declaration of faith. Let my words align with the hope you have given me. Help me to guard against exaggeration, dishonesty, or manipulation, keeping my lips pure and my speech trustworthy. Let my yes be yes and my no be no, as in Matthew 5:37. Grant me the discernment to know when silence will glorify you more than speech. Teach me to speak words that bring clarity, not confusion, and peace, not unrest. Help me to release forgiveness through my words, even when I feel wronged. Let me be quick to bless those who hurt me and to speak good over those who misunderstand me. Protect me from using humor that wounds or words that belittle. Instead, let my speech bring dignity and joy. Teach me to affirm others sincerely without flattery, letting my encouragement be rooted in truth. Help me to speak with conviction, but also with gentleness, that I may not close hearts by my delivery. Guide me to use my tongue to celebrate the victories of others and to support them in their challenges. Keep me from comparing my journey with theirs through my words. Instead, let me speak gratitude for the unique path you have given me. Help me to practice speaking scripture over my life each day, for your word never returns void. Let my lips continually bless you in both private and public. Teach me to pray aloud with authority, declaring your will over my life. Help me to resist idle chatter that serves no purpose, instead choosing to fill my speech with substance that edifies. Let my mouth be quick to acknowledge your hand in my life, giving you the glory for every good thing. Help me to resist the temptation to defend myself unnecessarily, letting my integrity and your truth speak for me. Give me wisdom to use my words sparingly when many are unnecessary, and abundantly when they will bring comfort or direction. Keep me from speaking from a place of pride or selfish ambition. Instead, let humility and service guide my tone. Help me to choose encouragement over criticism and patience over irritation. Keep me mindful that the same mouth I use to worship, you should not be used to harm another. Help me to apologize quickly when my words have caused pain, to restore relationships through honest and humble speech. Let my daily confessions declare that I am walking in your favor, provision, and protection. Help me to bless my own steps by proclaiming that your goodness and mercy follow me. Give me the discipline to speak truth over my thoughts before they form into words, aligning my mind with your promises. Help me to continually offer up a sacrifice of praise with my lips, as in Hebrews 13:15. Give me a voice that draws others closer to you rather than to strife. Help me to speak peace into tense situations at work, at home, or among friends. Keep my tongue from speaking in envy or resentment. Let my words reflect contentment and trust in you. Help me to pray over my speech daily, dedicating it to you before I interact with anyone. Let my words be a sweet fragrance to your ears and a refreshing sound to those who hear. Help me to remember that what I speak over my life will shape my reality. So I choose to speak faith, hope, and love. Grant me the grace to speak less when emotions run high and to wait until I can speak in wisdom. Help me to answer with grace when challenged and with patience when provoked. Let my lips bring forth truth with kindness and keep me from speaking to impress rather than to bless. Guide me in using my voice to give life to prayers that change situations and open doors. Help me to declare that I am walking in the strength of the Lord and in the light of His word. Keep my speech free from bitterness and full of blessing. Let me continually speak victory over every battle I face, knowing that you fight for me. Teach me to use my words to remind myself of who I am in you and of the authority you have given me. Help me to continually speak of your goodness, so that my faith remains strong and my heart stays encouraged. Let my tongue be used more in prayer than in complaint, more in praise than in criticism, and more in worship than in worrying. Help me to shape my environment through the power of words filled with faith and not fear. Let my declarations be bold, consistent, and unwavering, so that my speech becomes a testimony of trust in you. Father, you have said in Matthew 11:28 that all who are weary and burdened should come to you, and you will give them rest. So I place my struggles in your hands and release the things I have been holding on to that have drained my strength. Lift the clouds that have hovered over my mind and replace them with the light of your presence. Remove every pressure that has caused me to feel overwhelmed and restore in me the joy of my salvation. Let your Spirit breathe freshness into my heart, so that I may rise each day with renewed strength. Remove the weight of past failures and mistakes. For in Isaiah 43:18, to forget the former things and not dwell on the past. Help me to let go of the memories and regrets that keep me tied to heaviness. Cleanse my heart from the residue of disappointment, bitterness, or grief, and fill every empty space with peace that surpasses understanding, as in Philippians 4:7. Give me clarity to see beyond my current challenges and faith to believe that my best days are ahead. Open my eyes to recognize the beauty you have placed in each day, so that my spirit is lifted. Cause my soul to sing again, even in the face of trials. Let my lips praise you until heaviness turns to dancing, as in Psalm 30:11. Let the oil of gladness flow over me, breaking the yoke of depression and anxiety. Restore my laughter and give me the ability to enjoy life again. Align my heart with the truth that you are working all things together for my good. Help me to silence every voice of fear, doubt, and discouragement, so that my ears are tuned only to your voice. Strengthen my inner man, so that even when situations do not change immediately, my heart remains steadfast. Teach me to rest in the assurance of your promises. Lift every hidden burden that I have not been able to articulate and exchange it for the lightness of your yoke. In Matthew 11:30, let your joy become my daily strength, as in Nehemiah 8:10. Teach me to dwell in the secret place of the Most High, where my soul is sheltered from the storms of life. Give me the discipline to lay my burdens at your feet each day, and not take them back again. Uproot the seeds of worrying that have taken root in my heart, replacing them with trust in your faithfulness. Open my eyes to see the countless ways you have carried me before, so that I am reminded you will do it again. Fill my mouth with songs of thanksgiving until the atmosphere around me shifts. Help me to resist the temptation to isolate myself under the weight of heaviness, but instead draw me deeper into fellowship with you, where I find strength. Let my thoughts be anchored in your word, so that lies and hopelessness cannot take hold. Teach me to speak life over my circumstances, declaring that I will rise above every weight. Let my mornings begin with praise and my nights end with gratitude, so that heaviness has no place to settle. Pour out a fresh anointing over me that breaks the chains of weariness. Set my heart on fire again for the dreams you have placed within me. Remind me that I am not forgotten, but that you are still writing my story. Help me to focus on what is pure, lovely, and of good report, as in Philippians 4:8. Protect me from the heaviness that comes from comparison, envy, or dwelling on what I lack. Let my heart be full of contentment in every season. ****. Give me the courage to release relationships, situations, and habits that have been sources of unnecessary weight. Help me to walk in forgiveness, so that bitterness does not bind me. Restore my confidence in your timing, teaching me to wait on you without growing weary, as in Isaiah 40:31. Give me a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair, as in Isaiah 61:3. Fill my home with peace and my environment with reminders of your goodness. Help me to guard my heart from negativity, replacing it with hope. Keep my mind fixed on the truth that you are my refuge and my deliverer, as in Psalm 18:2. Strengthen my faith to speak to the mountains of heaviness and command them to move. Let my testimony be that you have turned my mourning into joy, and my sighs into songs of victory. Help me to rest in the shadow of your wings, where no burden can crush me. Refresh me daily with the rivers of living water flowing from your Spirit, as in John 7:38. And let my life radiate the joy and peace that only you can give, making it evident to all that you are the lifter of my head, as in Psalm 3:3. Keep me sensitive to the gentle leading of your Spirit, so that I do not carry weights I am not meant to bear, and let every step I take be lighter, because you are carrying me. Teach me to continually exchange my weakness for your strength, my fear for your courage, and my sorrow for your joy. Fill me with a peace that remains even in the face of uncertainty. Let my countenance shine with the light of your presence, and may my heart be anchored in the truth that with you I'm never alone. For you are my ever-present help in times of trouble, as in Psalm 46:1. Let my trust in you grow so deep that nothing can shake it, and let my spirit rise daily above the heaviness that once held me down, until I walk continually in the freedom, joy, and peace you have promised. Lord, I lay before you every hidden weight that lingers in my heart, every unseen heaviness that tries to press my spirit down. And I ask that you pour your light into every shadowed place within me, driving away the gloom that has settled over my thoughts. Fill me with a renewed awareness of your presence, so that no heaviness can remain. Let your words saturate my mind and bring comfort to my soul. Restore the ease of resting in you without anxiety creeping in. Let my heart be soft and open, so that your spirit can move freely and replace my burdens with peace. Take from me every silent pressure that drains my energy and replace it with your strength. Refresh me in the quiet moments when my soul feels weary. Surround me with your love that uplifts and sustains me. Allow me to rise above situations that try to weigh me down. Give me the clarity to see each day as a gift instead of a burden. Renew my perspective so I can focus on what you are doing instead of what has gone wrong. Let my soul be anchored in the assurance that you are with me in all circumstances. Teach me to lay aside every weight that slows me down and run with endurance the race you have set before me, as in Hebrews 12:1. Breathe new life into my faith, so that I can believe again in the things I have stopped hoping for. Let your spirit be the wind that lifts me when my own strength fails. Help me to release the silent disappointments I have carried for too long. Open my eyes to see the small victories you give me each day, and let these reminders strengthen my trust in you. Keep me from dwelling on the heaviness of what I cannot change, and help me to focus on what you are changing within me. Bring restoration to the deep places in my soul where hurt has lived. Cover me with your comfort, so that I am not defined by the pressures of this life. Keep my thoughts fixed on what is eternal, so that the temporary struggles lose their grip on me. Let gratitude fill my mouth, so that praise becomes my default even when I feel heavy. Grant me the discipline to surrender my thoughts to you when they begin to spiral into fear or discouragement. Let me sense your nearness so strongly that heaviness has no power to linger. Give me the courage to speak life over my days, to declare your promises even when I cannot see the outcome. Keep me surrounded by your peace, so that the storms around me cannot disrupt my heart. Align my will with yours, so that I can walk in the path you have chosen for me with lightness and freedom. Let my heart overflow with joy that comes from knowing I am in your hands. Remove the subtle lies that tell me I am stuck or forgotten. Replace them with the truth that you are always at work on my behalf, as in Psalm 55:22. Help me cast my cares on you, because you sustain me. Strengthen me to resist the urge to carry burdens that are not mine to bear. Release me from the heaviness of trying to control outcomes, and teach me to rest in the assurance of your timing. Refresh me with moments of quiet where I can hear your voice clearly. Stir up within me a spirit of hope that refuses to be crushed by the weight of uncertainty. Help me to take each step in faith without allowing heaviness to dictate my pace. Remove from me the heaviness that comes from overthinking and worrying about what lies ahead. Give me a heart that trusts you fully in the present moment. Let your joy rise within me like a spring that never runs dry, keeping my spirit alive even in challenging seasons. Help me to resist the temptation to dwell on past hurts or future fears, and instead live fully in the grace you provide for today. Wrap me in the comfort of your arms when I feel faint. Let my heart beat in rhythm with yours, so that I am aligned with your peace. Cause me to remember how you have lifted me before, so that my faith grows stronger each time I face heaviness. Fill me with a fresh vision for my life, so that I can move forward without being weighed down by old expectations. Keep my spirit sensitive to the ways you are working even in small details. Help me to cultivate joy as a daily habit, not just a fleeting feeling. Give me the strength to rejoice even in trials, knowing that you are producing endurance within me. Teach me to lay down comparison, so that I am not burdened by what others have or do. Open my eyes to the blessings already around me. Make my spirit light with thanksgiving, so that heaviness finds no place to land. Shield me from words or situations that try to rob my peace. Let my heart remain steady no matter the noise of the world. Keep my eyes fixed on you, so that my steps remain sure. Give me discernment to know when to rest and when to press forward. Break the cycles of mental and emotional exhaustion that feed heaviness. Pour into me a renewed energy that comes from abiding in you. Let my nights be filled with deep rest, so that I wake up restored. Protect me from the heaviness that comes through weariness. Give me divine strength to face each day with expectation. Help me to rise in the morning declaring that you are my source and my sustainer. Allow me to see setbacks as setups for greater testimonies. Fill my atmosphere with your presence, so that heaviness is replaced with praise. Let my life be marked by peace that draws others to you, and remind me daily that you are the lifter of my head and the one who sustains my soul in every season. Father, I ask that you release me from all that drains my strength. Let your presence be the covering that shields me from the heaviness that lingers without reason. Breathe into me the breath of life that revives every weary part of me. Make my soul like a garden watered by your spirit where joy can bloom again. Let my thoughts be renewed, so that I see possibilities where heaviness tries to show me only defeat. Replace anxious imagining with peaceful assurance, as in Isaiah 41 minutes and 10 seconds. Remind me that I have no reason to fear, because you are with me and will uphold me. Guide my mind into the safety of your promises, so that my emotions are not swayed by changing circumstances. Release me from the load of self-condemnation and fill me with the comfort of your mercy. Help me to step away from the shadows that have covered my hope. Allow me to walk in the light of your truth where heaviness cannot remain. Strengthen my heart to hold on to the vision you have given me even when delays make it feel far away. Lift my eyes above the challenges so that I can see your hand working all things together for my good. Give me the ability to rejoice before I see the answer, because I know you are faithful. Let every sigh be turned into a song, and every tear into a testimony of your kindness. Teach me to run to you first when heaviness comes instead of leaning on my own strength. Keep my spirit anchored in your peace, so that even when storms surround me, my heart will not sink. Give me the courage to lay aside tasks, thoughts, and burdens that you never asked me to carry. Pour into me a supernatural rest that revives my mind and body. Guard my heart from subtle discouragements that try to chip away at my joy. Fill my mouth with words of life that change the atmosphere around me. Make me quick to declare your goodness over every part of my life. Help me to embrace each day as a fresh beginning filled with your mercy, as in Lamentations 3:22-23. Let my faith rise above my feelings, and let my hope remain steadfast even when the evidence is not yet visible. Bring divine alignment into my steps, so that I am walking in rhythm with your will. Give me the ability to silence every voice that tries to speak defeat over my progress. Allow my focus to rest on your ability rather than my own limitations. Let the oil of gladness flow over me, replacing every trace of mourning. Fill the spaces in my soul where heaviness used to dwell with songs of praise. Help me to see your fingerprints in the smallest blessings, so that gratitude keeps my heart light. Remind me that my times are in your hands and nothing can derail the plan you have for me. As in Psalm 34 minutes and 17 seconds, hear my cry when I call, and deliver me from all that tries to oppress my heart. Give me the strength to wait on you without becoming weary, the grace to trust you without complaint, and the endurance to keep moving forward even when progress feels slow. Break every unseen chain of emotional weight that has tied me down. Open my eyes to recognize when heaviness is trying to creep back in, so I can resist it with your word. Make my heart a place where joy is not dependent on circumstance, but on your unchanging presence. Help me to walk in the freedom you've given me, keeping my spirit lifted above the pull of negativity. Surround me with your light, so that no darkness can remain. Grant me discernment to choose peace over pressure. Give me a deep inner confidence that you will finish what you have started in me. Let my thoughts dwell on whatever is true, noble, right, pure, lovely, admirable, excellent, and praiseworthy, as in Philippians 4:8. Keep my emotions steady and my heart calm. Let my nights be filled with peaceful rest and my mornings with renewed energy. Help me to find joy in the small things and not be weighed down by the pursuit of what is beyond my control. Pour fresh strength into me daily, so that I can walk without fainting. Teach me to release disappointments quickly and to hold tightly to your promises. Let my hope be like an anchor that keeps me steady when life's currents try to pull me away. Cause me to overflow with thanksgiving so that heaviness loses its grip. Make my words reflect trust in you so that even my speech carries life and encouragement. Give me wisdom to guard my heart against things that steal joy. Help me to see trials as opportunities for growth rather than reasons for despair. Lead me beside still waters where my soul can find refreshment, and restore my joy so fully that it spills over into every area of my life. Lord, step into every area of my life where invisible weights have been pressing against my spirit and lift them completely from me. Cause your light to shine into the deepest corners of my soul so that no heaviness can hide. Let my heart be infused with a new strength that will not bend under pressure. Breathe into me the freshness of your presence so that my entire being is renewed. Help me to shake off the dust of weariness and rise into the joy you have prepared for me. Keep my mind fixed on the hope of your promises so that I will not be swayed by temporary struggles. Pour into me a quiet courage that keeps moving forward when everything around me seems still. Fill my atmosphere with peace so that even in silence I feel your nearness. Let every moment of the day be touched with a reminder of your faithfulness. Help me to release memories that try to weigh down my steps and replace them with visions of the future you have promised. Bring into alignment every part of my being so that my thoughts, emotions, and actions move in harmony with your will. Give me an unshakable peace that guards my heart from restlessness. Set my feet upon the rock of your word so that I am steady and unmovable in times of pressure. Let your joy be my strength in such a way that it becomes my natural response to every challenge. Teach me to look at each day as an opportunity to experience your goodness anew. Help me to receive every morning as a fresh gift and every night as a gentle reminder of your watchful care. Cause my heart to be lifted in worship, even when I cannot see the full answer. Teach me to trust your timing without frustration. Surround me with the assurance of your love, so that no heaviness can convince me that I am alone. Remind me of the truth in Psalm 55:22, that when I cast my burdens on you, you will sustain me. Help me to walk in that truth every moment. Teach me to speak life over my situation and reject every thought that tries to drag me down. Let my spirit be quick to respond to your leading, so that I move away from anything that feeds heaviness. Plant in me a gratitude that flows constantly and keeps my soul light. Fill my mouth with praise that becomes a shield against despair. Guide me to moments of stillness where I can hear your whisper above the noise. Help me to recognize the small signs of your provision, so that I am reminded daily of your care. Give me discernment to avoid the traps of worrying and overthinking. Help me to focus on what is pure and uplifting. Keep my heart anchored in the truth that you are working even when I do not see it. Let the knowledge of your sovereignty calm my anxious thoughts. Help me to live in the awareness that you are my refuge and fortress, as in Psalm 91:2. Release into my life the oil of gladness that softens every rough edge of my day. Cause my mind to be flooded with the light of your wisdom, so that confusion has no place to stay. Help me to rest fully in you and not carry the burdens you have already taken. Give me the grace to embrace each season of my life with trust. Help me to lift my eyes above temporary shadows to the eternal hope that you have given me. Surround me with songs of deliverance that keep my spirit buoyant. Let my trust in you become so rooted that no storm can uproot it. Help me to find joy in obedience, knowing that it draws me closer to your heart. Teach me to walk in gentleness toward myself and not allow self-criticism to weigh me down. Fill my inner being with light so that it radiates into everything I do. Cause me to rejoice in the small victories and use them as reminders of your faithfulness. Let my rest be sweet and refreshing so that I wake each day ready to walk in purpose. Teach me to pray without ceasing so that communication with you keeps my soul light and free. Guide me to the right words, right steps, and right thoughts that align with peace. Help me to treasure the present moment instead of being consumed by regrets or fears of the future. Strengthen me to keep moving when heaviness tries to make me stand still. Fill me with a holy boldness to step into what you have called me to without hesitation. Let my days be filled with the sweetness of your presence and my nights with the comfort of your protection. Cause my spirit to overflow with thanksgiving so that there is no room for a heaviness to settle. Bring clarity where confusion has tried to cloud my mind. Let every breath I take remind me of the life and freedom you have given me. Teach me to turn my heart toward praise even in the smallest moments, and let the melody of that praise remain in me throughout the day, as in Nehemiah 8:10. Let the joy you give be my enduring strength in every circumstance. Lord, breathe your life into everything I touch. Let every effort, every project, every idea, and every responsibility entrusted to me carry the mark of your blessing. Open the doors that no one can shut and guide me to the places where the work of my hands will flourish. Remove every hindrance that tries to drain the fruit of my labor. Let my skills be sharpened and my mind be filled with the wisdom that comes from above. Grant me clarity in decision-making so that I invest my time, energy, and resources into what will bring lasting fruit, as in Deuteronomy 28:12. Let the heavens be open over me, and let the work of my hands be blessed in the city and in the field. Cause opportunities to meet me at the right time and protect me from distractions that lead nowhere. Strengthen my diligence so that I do not grow weary in well-doing. Give me joy in the process and not only in the results. Let my hands produce with excellence that glorifies you. Fill me with creativity and insight that set my work apart. Align my heart with integrity so that my labor stands on righteousness. Surround my work with favor that causes others to see its value. Bring divine connections that propel my assignments forward. Let my name be spoken in rooms of opportunity for good. Grant me the discernment to know when to plant and when to harvest, when to begin and when to wait. Cover my efforts with grace, so that even in seasons of challenge I am not crushed. Protect the fruit of my labor from being devoured by forces I cannot see. Cause the seeds I plant to multiply in ways beyond my calculation. Let the works of my hands be a testimony to your goodness. Strengthen my hands like Nehemiah's in Nehemiah 6-9, so that I finish what I start. Let my labor never be in vain, but accomplish the purpose for which you have sent it. Teach me to work as unto you and not unto men, so that my motivation remains pure. Help me to balance work with rest, so that I do not burn out but remain refreshed. Pour your favor upon the works of my hands, so that they become solutions to the needs of others. Protect me from comparison that breeds discouragement. Keep my focus steady on the assignment you have given me. Grant me speed in completion without the loss of quality. Let my hands always be ready to serve and to build. Make my labor a channel through which blessings flow to others. Cause my efforts to open the way for provision not only for me, but for those connected to me. Let my work carry the fragrance of your presence, so that it brings peace and inspiration to those who encounter it. Teach me to commit every task to you, so that it is established as in Proverbs 16:3. Help me to see the eternal value of what I do and not just the immediate reward. Keep my heart from pride when success comes and from despair when challenges arise. Make me a faithful steward over every resource and opportunity. Guide my hands away from anything that would lead to loss or regret. Let my work bring light into dark places. Cause the excellence of my labor to point others to you. Strengthen my hands in seasons when results seem delayed, and remind me that you are the Lord of the harvest. Help me to work with gratitude and not with complaint. Let every seed I sow be planted in fertile ground and watered by your hand. Grant me the ability to adapt and innovate when conditions change. Help me to work with peace instead of anxiety, to trust that you are multiplying my efforts in ways unseen. Let the work of my hands bring joy to my household. Help me to work with both skill and heart. Let my hands be free from idleness and my mind free from restlessness. Open my eyes to see opportunities others overlook. Give me the boldness to step into them. Keep me humble so that I give you glory in every accomplishment. Align me with mentors and helpers who can sharpen and strengthen my work. Make my work sustainable and fruitful for the long term. Guard my labor from sudden failure. Let my hands be quick to build and slow to destroy. Give me divine strategies that set my work apart from the ordinary. Cause my work to have an impact beyond what I can imagine. Grant me resilience to rise from setbacks stronger than before. Give me patience to see the fruit of slow and steady labor. Protect me from the temptation to take shortcuts that compromise integrity. Let my work be rooted in truth. Cause my labor to be both productive and meaningful. As in Psalm 90-17, the favor of the Lord establish the work of my hands. Make my labor an act of worship. Let it carry a blessing into every place it reaches. Teach me to rejoice in the process of building and trust you with the outcome. Fill my work with such excellence that it becomes a light in the marketplace. Help me to persevere when the path becomes challenging. Let every completed work be a stepping stone to greater purpose. Cause my efforts to leave a legacy of faithfulness. Help me to see that my hands are instruments through which you bring provision. Give me peace in knowing that my labor is blessed, because it is in your hands, and keep me anchored in the assurance that when I work in you, my labor will never be empty, but will accomplish much for your glory. Father, let the tasks before me be met with precision and understanding. Give me the insight to organize my time, so that nothing you have entrusted to me is wasted. Align my heart to approach every responsibility with gratitude. Let my mind be free from confusion and filled with strategies that lead to success. As you gave skill to Bezalel in Exodus 31-3, fill me with the Spirit of God in wisdom, understanding, knowledge, and craftsmanship for the assignments you have called me to fulfill. Remove from my hands anything that drains my energy without bearing fruit. Lead me to work that aligns with your will and brings lasting results. Keep me from laboring in vain. Place the right opportunities before me, and give me courage to seize them. Help me to persevere in diligence, even when the results are not immediate. Guard my work from unseen harm. Place a hedge around my efforts, so that the enemy cannot steal the fruit of my labor. Grant me the ability to complete my tasks with excellence and joy. Give me words that build confidence in those I work with. Let the atmosphere around my work be filled with peace and not strife. Allow me to see possibilities where others see obstacles. Help me to act promptly when you prompt me to take action. Keep my heart humble in every achievement, so that I remember it is your hand that prospers me. Give me focus to finish what I start. Align my steps with divine timing, so that I do not miss my moment. Release creativity into my work, so that it stands out and blesses others. Let my efforts be multiplied in ways that I cannot calculate. Protect my ideas until they are ready to bear fruit. Teach me how to nurture small beginnings so that they grow into strong harvests. Give me discernment to recognize when to push forward and when to pause. Bless my hands so that whatever I commit to prospers, as in Psalm 1-3. Allow my work to open doors of provision for generations after me. Let my name carry integrity in every place my work is mentioned. Shield me from discouragement when progress feels slow. Fill me with faith to believe that what I do matters. Make my work a source of encouragement to others. Release divine favor into every stage of my labor. Help me to steward opportunities wisely. Guard me from distractions that take me away from my true calling. Let my productivity be balanced with rest, so that I can sustain the pace you set for me. Fill me with endurance for long-term projects that require patience. Bless the partnerships connected to my work, so that together we accomplish more. Cause my work to bear witness of your goodness to those who see it. Align my resources with the vision you have given me. Keep me from comparison, so that I focus on my own path. Bless my labor, so that it has a ripple effect beyond what I can see. Give me the strength to overcome every obstacle that tries to delay completion. Allow my work to create value in the lives of others. Give me eyes to see areas of improvement and courage to address them. Grant me divine solutions in moments of difficulty. Strengthen my resolve to keep going even when the road is uphill. Let my work always reflect your excellence and truth. Keep my hands away from anything that would dishonor you. Help me to remain disciplined in managing my responsibilities. Give me the ability to learn quickly and apply knowledge effectively. Let my work be consistent and dependable. Place in me a willingness to grow and adapt as needed. Keep me from rushing ahead of your timing. Surround my work with those who will support and not sabotage it. Bless my finances through the work I do, so that I can give generously. Let my hands be instruments of healing and help to others. Keep me faithful in small tasks, so that I can be entrusted with greater ones. Let my labor always carry the breath of your Spirit, so that it remains alive and fruitful. Guide me in making wise investments of time, money, and energy. Cause my work to be a channel through which your blessings flow into my life and the lives of others. Help me to see the hidden potential in the resources I already have. Strengthen me against the temptation to give up too soon. Protect my work from those who would try to undermine it. Grant me divine efficiency, so that I accomplish more in less time without strain. Fill my heart with gratitude for every stage of progress. Help me to trust you with the parts of the process that I cannot control. Open my ears to hear your instruction clearly. Bless my efforts, so that they create stability and provision in my home. Give me insight into trends and shifts, so that I can position my work wisely. Align my actions with the vision you have placed in my heart. Let my work reflect light in places of darkness. Give me confidence to present my work without fear. Cover me with grace when I face criticism, so that I respond with wisdom. Help me to refine my skills continually, so that my work grows in quality. Let my hands be strong and steady in seasons of intense labor. Grant me breakthroughs where I have experienced resistance. Allow my work to touch lives in ways I may never know. Bless the end result of my labor, so that it speaks of your faithfulness. Keep my heart anchored in the truth that you are my ultimate source. Help me to honor you with the first fruits of my labor. Keep me in alignment with your word, so that my success is rooted in righteousness. Let the testimony of my work encourage others to trust you. Grant me strength to endure seasons of sowing without yet seeing the harvest. Keep my motivation pure, so that I do what I do with sincerity. Bless the systems and tools I use, so that they function with excellence. Let my work open the way for new opportunities that glorify you. Help me to handle success with humility and challenges with grace. Teach me to continually seek your wisdom in every decision. Let my labor be a place where your spirit moves freely. Fill me with patience to wait for results, while staying faithful in the process. Allow me to work with peace in my heart and not under the weight of anxiety. Keep my mind from being clouded by fear of failure. Bless my hands to produce results that have lasting value. Let every finished work bring satisfaction and joy. Help me to see work as a gift and privilege, and keep me walking in the assurance that when my labor is in your hands, it will always yield good fruit. Lord, let the ideas you give me take root quickly and flourish. Help me to move forward with boldness when you open the way. Let every effort be guided by your wisdom, so that I walk in the right direction. Give me the strength to manage my time with care and intentionality. Keep me focused on the tasks that matter most and remove the clutter that hinders progress, as you blessed Isaac in Genesis 26-12, so that he reaped 100-fold. Bless my labor, so that it multiplies beyond natural expectation. Cause my skills to attract the right opportunities, and keep me diligent in sharpening them. Let my work be marked by consistency, so that those who depend on it find reliability. Bless the tools and resources in my hands, so that they accomplish more than their capacity. Give me divine insight to anticipate challenges before they arise, and the creativity to overcome them. Keep my steps ordered, so that I am always in the place where my work will bear the most fruit. Let my mind be alert to fresh possibilities that others overlook. Breathe life into projects that seem stagnant, so that they move forward. Grant me the grace to remain steadfast when progress feels slow. Let my hands bring forth results that glorify you. Protect my labor from decay or loss. Let each day's work build on the last, so that I see steady growth. Open my eyes to see where I can improve, and grant me humility to embrace change. Bless my communication, so that my work is presented clearly and persuasively. Help me to manage resources wisely, so that nothing is wasted. Fill my heart with the joy of seeing a task completed well.